got a bunch of stuff.
Well, he's putting the footing.
Stuff.
We need
I
to-
refinanced my truck, you know, and then I take a nap every day. It's very just-
Well, he's looking at the- We need lights, has the big one outside.
Right now, it's off.
And I, and it's distribution point for Jeff and ecstasy. Yeah.
Verifying what they're looking at.
Oh.
This stuff. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Can you hear me now?
Notes, then work
It's
out
just
what
like-
you have there. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Well, there's still
Can
some,
you hear me?
there's still some
But
questions.
I come over and go.
But they imagined and they were fine.
Well, I've had two different opinions. Well, I'm
It's
still.
supposed to
This
like-
is 10,000.
Dan's there, she's
Well,
not.
they're too tall.
And I have, no.
I should say-
Yeah, okay, this is nice.
I'm suggesting- You gotta pay for the election.
Too tall. It was a plan we
Yeah.
made for.
Let's pick one up, and then if it's horrible, then we'll leave it up in order.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So I guess this one, but that's not what the studio
I
recommended.
guess her filter has that.
I'm not a measurement type down, so.
But,
They did, and those are.
but I think she can hear those.
All right. I've mixed up about this. I've been through it 3 times on.
I better go through it again.
Well, the ones that I know, the ones.
Just say it. You can
Matt,
say it
but
the
he-
second time for.
Can you hear me, Ian?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're live streaming and you're not echoing, so that's good.
Paid for.
I mean, he's probably.
So no, that's a-
Right, how are you getting out? Light's gonna.
College or-
Yeah.
That's probably good for the light, but maybe not so good for aesthetics of the way it looks. We don't want to.
Oh, Judith is, there's
Light up
a
big.
charity event that has to do
Well,
with the
it's
spelling.
one down.
But the spelling bee has a adult tea. I don't think it's.
Yeah, you get through a lot of, you know, the dark stuff.
It was a fundraiser for covered other the community
Oh,
college.
that's not.
My last conversation was.
She always talked about all that stuff that she wanted me to cover.
You won't know.
She is, even when I want to spread
so
over,
heavy.
which is.
You were gonna get a piece of.
Yeah, I think that's a waste of time. too.
So we're actually better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Because I'm titles come
Let's
there.
look there, let's see what it looks like, and then we can stop there.
She will occasionally go with my brother.
Yeah, the Bobcat, you know, the.
Well,
Yeah.
Big Woods will.
Oh, he's gonna
he's glued to the television for hour
But
after hour.
If we say, put it out there and let us look. We'll pay
You'll-
it
you'll-
for something for-
He's-
Yeah, you're gonna have to have space too.
Paul is what.
You're gonna have to have like. So.
Yeah, it's not, he's called.
He's a good guy, but he's
Basically, concrete
who's
pads
having
and then hoist them up.
some substantial problems. Yeah.
We have to wait on him. Oh, the market. We
Yeah,
have to wait.
when you want more, then.
Well, I've taken
Next
over,
week, I think's fine.
I took over the tax and, you know, what's happening is my graduates sort of taking over more and more stuff and yeah, getting it things, cause.
I saw somebody working over at the school, they were
Just, you know.
contractor.
Uh,
It was a word, was that, I mean.
They're about to pay the bill. And
It was a
were
Jacob?
running them over.
Yeah. I thought it
yeah,
was-
they,
I wasn't paying attention.
county, Chris, he was set up to do the work.
And then went back to her town.
It is pretty short.
And I'm like,
You think that I have a phone out here?
don't you think?
Uh,
This was years, a few years ago now, but still.
Sitting with
I know.
Sounds like a good resource.
I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't have an engineer for the, ask questions.
We have to do that too, I'll round up or do something, just so always round up. Yeah,
Get it right.
Yeah.
That's the units that they're proposing on probably the best.
so, yeah,
What we're trying to do.
Yeah.
we're the only few.
I mean, you
that
probably
have
have
to-
to, they look at things, but how.
Don't go. Her far away.
Yeah, no.
I thought there were people in the classes.
Those seats are uncomfortable for about an hour. It's okay.
Well, this is actually better than those.
I
This
don't
is
know, I
very comfortable.
Yeah,
this is better.
They've got cushions on it like the.
Yeah.
the steel-
What I need to do is I just need to bring one a stadium seat and put it on a chair. Yeah, but this is good facts. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Well, that's right. That's part of it. It is. So the other room where I just, Baptist want to tear down their historic church because they want.
With the mayor.
Well, they're so crazy. I can't, Well, I'm gonna send an email to
Actually,
say, hey, this
not as
is going around the man. Don't you want to have a reporter on this? Yeah, that's one of my to-dos for tomorrow.
Did that.
Yeah.
She.
They're sick.
I know it'd be crazy, but on the other hand. Is that, well, what happens is historic districts,
I'm not sure.
I mean, American Historic Preservation Board is quite.
Unless she was removed or
We
all tell or the caregiver
Yeah.
of an outbreak. Is to be on vacation. But I found that is the national historic.
Yeah.
Can't do up his. It's one thing.
Yeah, so.
Let's
call, we can't do it.
It's the perfect postmodern.
Yep.
Anybody gets that.
This year's year, I don't know what it is.
Well, it's Virginia, and so that's the other issue.
Oh, okay, 17, is that what we're doing? I got the.
Oh, yeah, no, they got anybody going there, and that's partly the state.
No, that's the city.
Is that the city? Oh, it's good for them.
But. Does anybody talk to Ashley or Omar?
I saw Omar today, he said he'd be here.
Oh, he did say he would be.
Yep.
I did talk to Ashley about tomorrow, I didn't talk about today.
Okay.
Yeah, we're down.
Because when Fletcher talked to Omar, Omar said he didn't know anything about it.
And put a,
Day or two.
and then they,
Okay.
you know, the other
He told me
thing
that's
that's
about
about
tomorrow,
tomorrow
too.
was.
Good. That's excellent. Good.
Moses, that was down in. They wanted, yeah. They built it up. Yeah, they wanted.
Yeah.
To make it.
Yeah.
I came with the bundles from last year, just took his there, but he was a lunatic. But I remember that early sixties, late fifties, early sixties,
Ames and Sturgis. Right.
the urban renewal.
You know, I'm on the criminal
Yeah,
side,
right.
not a good
Because
side.
I lived in that historic city in upstate New York, it destroyed the downtown. Yeah. It did, they just tore down big
It was
homes
great
and then
for
left it, well, no, but they
You know,
moved.
and it's,
Yeah, we were in Red Bull while our house was getting done, so right in the middle of the street, nice and quiet and everything around. Now we're back down here, and so you got the gravel trucks going up,
Yeah.
market, everybody going down to the work, and then Malik's will start with music and stuff, which if it's good music, I don't mind it, I can sit out on my porch and listen to it, it's a good stuff.
problem is. right?
It's not good music.
That's right.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what's worse is, you look at the code,
I asked you about
zoning,
I thought it
it says, I think, council, it says that if there are violations on code, zoning, it's the homeowner is supposed to, the neighbors are supposed to do something.
posted.
So that means if you're.
We're not.
Junk,
I thought it was an.
and I live in the front,
I didn't know that it was.
you can do, it. So if I do, then you can't. It's like,
Yeah.
help me understand what zoning,
It's not.
right?
But yeah, and then it's on schedule enforcement. You know, I mean, they don't do it.
Yeah, you can.
Well, that's why.
Night to
Same with those 3-hour park, you
continue
continue
this.
all right, it's fine.
Although this is a workshop, does that matter?
So it will,
It's an open meeting.
will that be able to be on the chart?
Then we have to open the meeting.
We will, but it's- we have.
Oh, you have. It's what?
Anybody else that can-
Yeah, in fact, most places that they adjourn until a certain time. And they.
Well, I am there, so that's
Maybe it's
on
one person.
and on the
Yes.
screen. Yeah.
You can't be counted out, it's not.
Only on the certain-
She only counts if she it's ended remotely for medical reasons or they fear. Somebody was medical reasons. She can't be part of the board.
Sue,
We may not.
spaghetti, meatballs, sausage.
Anybody have a crash?
It's really.
Yes.
yummy.
It's real.
Oh, yeah. I
Of
call
course,
it.
it's probably not.
And I found ice.
Well, he calls it everything. How does they get the?
And the data is the, is.
I know, but you know what, you make a week.
It was, it was.
Oh. No.
Sorry, I was not, and all, I was not in any of them.
Yeah, we made them for it, but you had some other family members, well, made
I guess I just figured I could log from all the.
Yeah. But, you know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, man.
But they-
No, management.
That's
I don't
Oh,
really know.
I don't know.
See, I'll.
Yeah, yeah.
And I just never learned that. Oh, I have already, and then it was like. Anything was like.
Then she tried to make the recipe. Woman next door was Italian.
He wasn't.
And.
Even though I don't cover the contract.
I mean. They.
I was like. Money. You were hiring.
And then when I was a little, when I was a baby, I told coffee in my bar, and I had things with thought. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
She got me started early, so she made me really good.
If I do.
Everything optimized.
So I would be good.
Robert.
Going to get that. But.
It's like the worst thing that anybody could,
And then I have the email thing.
but I think. It's a real.
I can't even produce my mom's dad, yeah. I heard it was amazing.
It's just minors are.
But I can't call you know, the presence. That's all right, it's a heritage. Definitely. Heritage recipe. I don't know, I well.
I think that would be different. So,
Not my phone's right on the
it's like the story, and so
I like that.
you know, so. That's why.
And I tried to phone, so then I don't know.
No, I never, I'll try something, I have to understand that.
If you talk to it today, then he's probably better.
Not doing this now. Holding over, bro. Yeah, have different priority or something.
Yeah.
We bring up things. They just hide it. And there's no inclusion, I mean, those.
To the creek,
Yeah,
you know, down.
yeah, she's kind of wacky right now, because she's so,
So it's a coherent.
she's got so much.
Exactly.
Right. Might be, is there a flower one? I can't.
You can't
I think there's some.
So
Is there somebody?
Yeah, I
Oh,
thing of
okay.
without the corn.
Oh.
So how you
We're
feeling?
well represented. I'm vertical, I'm doing better.
That's always good to.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I caught a head cold, which, you know, makes me sound worse than I am, but they told me I can't fly and I can't take walk car trips and stuff like that. I got 5 more months of that.
Everybody needs a hobby. So, you know.
Developing blood clots in my legs, but I bought one of those, I bought an elliptical I could put under my desk, and I've been sitting. I can't do it when I write on the computer, but I can do it when I read,
Right.
so when I'm reading, it's like.
They tell you where the expression thought.
Google.
Yeah,
Yeah, and actually, we're doing that slide.
Yeah.
I had it.
Probably fans that it is such.
Yeah.
I'm thinking on that little bus without.
But I haven't had, on wood.
No, you're not gonna
Anything
do
of
that.
kind that might find it, we're not gonna buy it.
Yeah.
You're not-
Did they kept you on a blood thinner?
Oh, after I did the blood, I told you, if they did the blood test and figure out anything, why, I asked him, I said, do I need to stay on this? And he said, no,
You're in.
he just said, and if you were gonna go on a long flight or something. You're writing prescription for
Yeah.
a few pills and then you just.
Lisa?
take it,
Yeah,
start
take
taking a
them.
day or two beforehand. Do that.
Yeah.
Little car.
I don't think that's in there. If I don't have to take anything.
I'm sorry, I
Should
should
do
have
it- do itself, themselves.
Well,
we can wait too for a little
Yeah.
while.
So, but. You know,
Yeah, I just, what I found though was I decided to do
Maybe
a
it's a good one.
which is like never a good idea, but here I am.
everybody.
Well, I found an article from the journal Cardiology that talked about alpha-gal, which I have, and its impact on cardiovascular health.
Are you ever?
And what that,
I was mobile.
Excuse me, could somebody tell me what's happening?
We don't have a quorum.
Okay, and so our plan is,
Well, we're calling our attorney to see if we can still have this meeting. I don't think we can, but,
We're waiting for, see if we can get Omar.
and we're waiting
or
to see.
Ashley.
Yeah, I called both.
okay, thank you.
said was that my.
Can't transact business, and that they wouldn't be transacting business, but it's still a real big question.
Yeah, we'll go with whatever,
You're
we'll
like-
just go across the street and get
It
it.
just backs us up.
That's what
Well, we can-
Yeah,
Yeah.
so anyway, what they're saying is that people with alpha-gal have a 30% higher incidence of
Yeah,
any rate, junk in their blood vein,
Right.
arteriosclerosis.
Right.
That made my hair stand on end, and so, yeah, so I am, I'm about to actually send a reference to my doctor and to the pulmonologist and.
Sorry, Ann, I thought you could
This is
hear
what
us.
this says. You know,
There's a lot of chatter, I can't hear very well.
Okay, that's fair.
Everybody's talking at once, so, but thank you for the update.
They haven't turned the volume on so that we can hear the person.
I know, it's.
I can turn down my gun.
I like
around that one.
Okay.
That must have been totally surreal. That was up with the government.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
oh,
it's
yeah.
just, it would be a classic British government.
Well, government contractors make a lot of money off stuff.
So they do.
You know, some people do, so, you know what I mean, I don't, but there are things that.
No, it's not your-
Yeah. Government's not doing what they, you know.
Right.
I heard it. He's a great guy. He worked for the ATF.
Makes me a little nervous. Yeah.
Stories he told me, it's not that, no, it's just like, okay, you know, and at the same time, like, okay, then it's like, well,
Yeah.
that's not.
I let myself sleep in and I take a nap every day. You know, I'm not putting in.
You can do it, you know, I don't fault you, I fault the system.
You know,
That's
as
right,
much
that's
time.
right.
Oh,
That's,
there
I
was
mean, my
nobody,
joke is,
there was no.
people would ask me how to
So.
doing
I
this
had,
now that I'm retired. How much?
Yeah, so I
said, was a
just have
factor.
to,
It was a joke.
you know, I'm not wearing it right now, but I'm supposed to start wearing compression socks.
Well, that's what people tell me, you know, I don't.
So I'm comfortable, I'm not. I'm not supposed to fly, I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, I can find. I get things that feel like say, trust me, I don't even like it. I would like.
Here.
I can fucking, I get paid.
Plenty of
Yeah.
friends, less stress.
Don't fly. Well, the only, I was, that's my best friend. But, you know, I might go, I guess, because then I can take.
We got our fourth member's on his way.
Yeah.
Ashley's on his way.
Oh, good. Yeah, I know, that was a problem when I was.
Is there a time limit?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So tomorrow morning, we can all still be here.
So how are you? You're telling me okay, you're.
Well, I don't know about your time limit, mine's about 15 more minutes.
Right.
think
Yeah.
it is personally, I was thinking, I don't know why.
I was just curious if there was a,
Not to my knowledge.
I'm not suggesting we should run off.
It's from the pruning.
It's true. Pushing microwave butt.
Pushing the.
It's true. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Mexico, we'll do Mexico City. Okay. Well, now I don't believe anything at all. Been there a couple times. She's always got. She'll eat
I
anything.
wrote it down, but then I had it in my head that it was.
Why so high? Baby.
Maybe it's
Sex, they have to speak something more than Spanish. Well, some reason, one that's we Spanish, then you see English, and that's it. I don't know why I got that there. So, and I thought, maybe it's going to take that for you. I was going to take that way we bed.
What's your count? Not
But not for a thing.
They hiding it. So I didn't go out to keep her beauty. Did she turn? Really see anything. That was put
Four or five,
And then
four or six, and that's super majority. Budget has to pass in the super majority.
Oh my goodness. When I took my AD outside, she's her own worst end. It was more through the playground and for and then looking before lighted the lights, Spanish. And
It's like
out water in Spanish.
And it takes hard, it's my favorite. 18. It's the hard one.
But I love it. I love it. You want to go back. I said,
So don't go with.
This person don't have to be the office.
it's my dog.
That kid. Okay.
I gotta go. Whatever. And then we visited, she has a friend who from high school, it's a very close friend.
I used to think that the south of the county.
Visited her. But
The job was-
Comments? 50% plus one half of it.
60%, 2/3, 66 and 2/3 percent, and 3/4.
50% plus one would be four, right?
In most cases, the supermajority fraction of a percentage of
We didn't get that.
number is rounded up.
It's crazy. The mayor.
I don't think that far, so.
She'll be back.
I think
Back
tomorrow.
Yeah.
About it. What about your? I used to go to stuff.
No, but she can't. We wanted to vote until I do that.
Well, wherever, what? You
Well,
could.
so-
Limited.
Would you ask my lord?
He was working.
We're all gonna be here tonight, right?
Went back.
Yes.
And I laid.
The whole day.
Yeah, quite the whole day. We don't- trouble with
You know, works to pay the tax in my home.
And have anybody. Oh, really? You did?
Yes, I
do. Yeah, I think, you know, yeah.
Yeah, it was, and I didn't think twice about it.
The spade was in. I just never. I'm coming back, same time till like 8 o'clock.
And I would have Monica.
They sent.
They got. they sent-
I did see both of them.
Forwarded and when I.
There's some things that Michelle's in- first question, let's go around.
One is yes, we can.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
That would at least be interesting.
Yeah.
When they're staying each time.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I guess. that's-
Where I come from, the people that do
The same.
that, make sure that they show.
We're waiting, we don't have a forum, Ashley's on its way, but we don't know where.
All those, everything you're seeing on TV, it's sketch, it's all street, all street.
I know, here he is. I don't think you're planning to study.
No, I forgot about it. I like you.
I bet you called, and he was like, oh, and so he was getting in the car, and the country was like.
Maybe.
Oh,
No, we didn't have any idea.
What is it?
Oh, so we may have. That's the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me, get this.
So here's.
What'd you say?
Anybody,
Is the. Sign up for. I haven't done any only.
Yeah.
Did you?
Okay,
so special, yes. Yeah,
Right.
we don't get, I mean, they America, they sell it for that, circuit for it.
Yeah.
Where'd you go? But I'm over there, so.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, is that the swing?
Yes.
Oh.
I've never read it. I
Someone
don't
else
think
told me it was really great. Yeah.
I've been to anything as good for a long time.
Really?
It,
Isn't that wonderful?
they perform a lot. Push on the website. They were on the website. Right, and that.
Oh, yeah, where's the other down?
When it gets, that's, and they,
Are they from here or? They're from Williamsburg. I'm sure there was just. Was it, it must have been full. Oh, must have been. Yeah, that's great. That's what she's saying.
No,
He's speculating.
Oh, okay.
they're like, yeah, yeah. They were sitting in the front after the first number or two, and they were like, go. I think we ran. They were. I can't.
Yeah, they've been recording.
That's just.
Someone else I know went to it and said it was great. Oh, that's the fun.
All we do is report.
That is fun.
It was, Johnson, right?
Yeah, they have piano, drums, double bass,
Uh-huh.
sax, trumpet, and trombone.
Wow.
And we talked to him. Sarah, no, that concert was fabulous.
Glad you enjoyed
It
it.
was magnificent.
Thank you for coming.
Anybody who didn't see it, you missed something.
Oh, is this the swing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I did want to, my stepson was in town.
it was just phenomenal.
Very good crowd.
Wait till y'all hear brass winds. Friday of the, Anita Cocktails Forward Weekend.
Yeah.
They're really good too.
Brass Winds Band, it's the band we hired to play the pavilion that Friday night of, Sale 250, but we're not allowed to label it as that, it's copyrighted, but that's what it is. I've been talking about Sale, and Debbie, I've been talking about.
I know,
Sale
did you catch me there? I said.
Yeah, I know, I was like.
Well, if you ever can get Good Shot Judy back, that would be wonderful.
That'd be cool on the street for a second Friday too, because like, just like that.
Yeah, but they're not local band talent cost.
Yeah.
There was one couple who danced in the aisle.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I still haven't really.
I came.
Until two.
That could be, that could definitely be. He's got his own thing. Well, he gets, you know, when she walks and she's got trees to hand out to everybody else, he gets some. So.
You guys have been like. I'd like to call this work session to order, the Nantucket Town Council work session. Debbie, can you call the roll?
Sure. Councilmember Figgy,
Present.
Councilmember Grubb, Councilmember Holdren,
Present.
Councilmember Knock,
Here.
Councilmember Pettit,
Here.
Councilmember Quigley, remote,
Here,
Mayor Foskey.
Here, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, we have a quorum. All
Whoop.
righty. Okay,
sorry.
this is a work session on the budget, strictly on the budget. I'm not going to discuss anything else. We have We have another budget work session on Thursday a week that's at 2:00. So we're going to continue that meeting there'll be a continuation of this meeting. So we'll have that motion at the end of this meeting. So we won't formally adjourn this meeting. We'll just continue it. Oh, actually, we're going to continue until tomorrow night because we have another work session tomorrow day. Yeah, today. Yeah, the other one is advertised. So, all right, Bill, town manager's going to start on the budget.
Yes, yes, sir.
Oh, excuse me, before we start, can I make a statement?
Yeah. Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, one moment. Sorry, I want to get it right. So I have a potential personal interest in this budget workshop. In the event that individual town employee compensation is discussed, my personal interest is that I am married to the harbor master. I will be voting on the budget as a whole as a member of the town council and not on any individual employee's compensation. I am able to participate in the town's budget process fairly, objectively, and in the public interest. Debbie, please make sure my statement is included in the minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We duly noted. All right, Bill.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This budget is really a transitional budget because this is going to be a transitional year for this fiscal year of 27. It's designed to allow the town manager and council to review and establish the priorities for the town, both operating and capital. I want to talk a little bit first about your primary source of revenue, which is the real estate taxes. This budget is based on the reassessment, the Accomack County reassessment for 2026. In the book, the total value, we do not have the land book yet because, as I understand it, the appeals have not been completed, and we won't have the actual book until it's completed. But right now, the best value we have is $247,493,600. This is 23% over the previous reassessment. Under the new reassessment, a penny on the tax rate would raise you about $24,749.36. If the tax rate remained the same as the 24 cents per hundred that they have assessed value have now, the revenue would be $593,984.64. I'm recommending in this budget that you decrease the rate to 22 cents a hundred. That'll raise $544,485.92. I'm sorry?
Current tax rate was what again? I'm sorry. Is it 20? That's right, 24%. All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. To raise the amount of revenue under the new reassessment that was under the previous budget would be about 18 cents per hundred. You can advertise at a higher rate and reduce the tax rate, but the real estate tax rate, but you cannot increase it once you do the advertisement. I guess if there's any question on what the reassessment means in terms of the revenue raised.
So just to be clear, our current rate is 24 cents
Yes, sir.
and we're lowering it to 20 cents. If we lowered it,
22 cents is
22
what I'm
cents.
recommending.
yeah, and if we lowered it to 8, if we want another 4 cents, it would be back down to what, that would be
Yes.
a flat, no increase in real estate, assuming everybody had no increase for us, but everybody's have an individual assessment that could vary.
Very, yes.
But generally, we'd be taking the same amount of money as we did last year, correct?
Yes, sir. That's
Okay,
correct.
Okay, just make sure.
One other question. Do you have any indication of when the appeals will be finished and you'll get the finalized?
No, ma'am. They did not give me a date. They told me that they'd let me know as soon as they were completed.
Thank you.
We don't usually get the land book till October, though. Is that different than?
We
This
get
year?
the land book
in October for billing purposes
Yeah.
of taxes, but the reassessments
Assessment.
they
Okay.
already have.
All right, this budget includes one contracted employee for the town website maintenance and develop, for communication with town citizens. I have heard town council and citizens both talk about the need to do improvements to the website and to get more communication, be more transparent. Staff is not trained to do a lot of what I hear you all talking about needing. So we've talked around to folks that do this for a living and would be contracted out. One of the concerns that I've also heard from members of council and from residents, both the level of maintenance and landscaping of the town properties. This budget contracts out the landscaping and maintenance for all of town properties except Town Square. The primary reason for Town Square is that there are still some plans that have been made by OBCA that we have not put into action, and town council has not approved them all, but until we know exactly what's going to happen, that was not put under or request to be put under the landscaping services. We keep, under this, we also keep the water and sewer billing in-house based on the responsibilities that we would have once it was turned over to HRSD. There is no reduction in those responsibilities with the exception of printing out the bills. Under the way that HRSD is set up, all phone calls for sewer or any of that would come back to the town to check out. The meters that you see, well, it'll cut out going out and reading the meters. We'll be able to download that. But any information, for example, if you had a problem with your water bill and you wanted to see, or your sewer, thought your sewer was high, the sewer is based directly on the water bill. So all questions would come back to us, as well as to setting up service, both water and sewer.
I just had a quick question about that. So we would also keep the sewer in-house?
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
so you're gonna reconcile every day and give HRC their money? Because that's what we had talked about before.
Once a month.
Once a month. And what we will do is we collect the money in and send them their share. We get the money in first.
Circumstance, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be sewer revenue for us, it would go to the
Right.
liability
Yeah.
account.
Right.
And then I would just purge that liability account once a month.
Isn't that adding more work to you, though?
No, it's just a matter of.
You're doing that now.
Mapping the GL correctly, so that charges go to a liability, because it's not our money,
Right.
we're liable now.
And we are, but the plan is still to give the collection system over, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the other thing is these meters are much more accurate. So we haven't got but we expect that they will show increase in water use. So we're not recommending at this point any increase in the water rates. There will be an increase in the sewer rates because we charge exactly what HRSD rates are. The other thing is that the meters themselves will send us information dealing with, say, levels or brackets of leakage. And we will be able to notify folks, and we did especially during the cold spell, that it appears that there may be a leakage in the system. So that there's another step. We did not have that before. So that's in there, and we would have that no matter what also. So I guess and recommend here that there be a 5% increase for staff, with the exception of, I think it's two personnel that we're going to do a market study for to raise them to the market rate. So I guess at this point, find out if you all have questions, kind of answer your questions.
Well, we usually go through, I think the income is pretty, and that's not gonna, we can adjust the rate. I know, so I'd like, can we go through the budget, starting at, with the expenses, let me start with the town
Sure.
council sheet. So look at that, so if anybody, start over with Lisa, if you have any questions about the town council expenditures.
Yeah, so for town council salaries, and I saw your math, did our tax rate change, Debbie, for FICA and stuff?
No, our SUDA is significantly lower. We pay hardly anything on SUDA because we haven't had any unemployment, like our SUDA is only not even 1%.
Awesome. The reason why I'm asking, because I did I looked at what we did year to date through February, and based on that, I have a 12-month projection of 14,540. So I was thinking that maybe we could do a slight reduction to the suggested salary for fiscal year 27. Which would save us $766. I don't know. That was one of mine that I looked at.
Okay, so say that again. So you did a year to date.
I pulled out,
February.
I did a year to date through February, then times that by 8, and then did 12 months times that, or 12 times the monthly rate. And the projection was 14,539.37, and I didn't do the 3-year on this one, but it does look like last year our actual was 14,597, which is similar to this number that I just got. So it's not huge money. It was just something I was looking at. The other thing I was looking at under town council was travel and training. Historically, we haven't been using a whole lot, but I feel like we've got a lot more engaged council members, so we might want to consider increasing that. And then office supplies, we haven't purchased anything this year, and our 3-year previous average was $273. I thought maybe we could cut that down.
Office supplies really includes planning commission as well. So I just considered all committees,
Oh,
planning commission,
okay.
PDA, town
Okay, I didn't
council.
know that. So it includes, I will make a note. Thank you. So those were my comments on the town council section.
Cindy?
We should up travel.
Well-
Or I'll have to be aware that there's a budget. We
you've-
can't keep going over budget.
Well, you spent 1,526 and we're going to 3,000. That's 100% increase.
Right, because
Yeah.
this year to date, we've spent $3,727.70.
Well, remember, we have upcoming travel in May that if several of us go to
Well, that's,
the Chickadee conference, I realize that's this year's
The
money.
small communities.
I think
But
that
it-
some of that's already been paid though, hasn't it? You've already paid some of that
I don't know, but we obviously haven't got reimbursed for the travel part yet.
yeah, well, and there's a VML meeting but it's in Norfolk this year, so that's, we wanted to send some people, that'll be a lot less expensive because we'll probably just go for the day, yeah.
So if we think 3,000 is fine, I was just
Again-
projecting that it could be
again,
more.
If we wrap up the fact that this sort of includes all committees,
It's, you know,
there's planning commission, possibly training, whatever EDA things that they want to do.
EDA is not part of the town.
Oh, okay,
pay for that.
that's true. You're right.
All right, let's go to Cindy. Okay, well, let's go around first and then we can adjust the numbers if anybody has any comments.
Still talking about town council, right?
Yes, yeah, definitely.
No, I don't have a question.
Sarah?
Just, yeah, I was going to get Ashley's packet and didn't hear an answer to the 2% increase in the wages taxes.
5%.
And well, it says 2% from
On this page.
on on page.
Oh, the two on there.
on page 2.
I think that's
Yeah.
due to, that's not any actual, I thought that was because of FICA or something, right?
Is
It's
that,
actually a 2% decrease because the
Oh,
last,
right.
and this is based on the budget for
Yeah.
for this year. It's not based on the actual.
Yeah, there's
We
no,
don't
there's,
actually-
for people there's really no change from the budget from last, it's almost similar to last year. And,
okay, thank you.
To Ashley? Ann?
I have just a question about the town attorney. Is that a contractual relationship? So is
Yes.
that rate set for a period of time?
That's a year to
It's
year.
a year to year.
He's already indicated that
He wants to go up
he wants
next
to go
year.
up even more than that for that, and he's not asking
Okay.
for one. We
Okay,
basically
I was
told him
gonna
we're not
say-
getting anyone this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Same rate for 3 years is surprising.
Well, no, he went up. It was 2.
Yeah.
It was, when he started with this, it was 2. He went up to 3 last year, I think, or year, yeah. So,
Okay,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah. All right, are we done on, okay. All right, town administration,
Well, did we want to adjust anything?
I think 3,000 is a pretty reasonable number there. That's the only thing we talked about.
Well, so, but is planning commission planning on traveling and going to trainings? I mean, because our
well,
council's actually using this line item where other councils have not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to judge that number,
Somebody else do the course that I did, but that's online. If someone else wants to do that, the planning course.
Was there a cost in that?
What?
How much was it?
750.
Oh, okay, well, that's substantial.
And right now we're already 3,700 in for the year and we're all going to the small, well, a bunch of us are going to the small conference and that's travel. I mean, it's already, it's not booked in this number because this is only through February. I think you booked, I think you've probably cut most of those
Yeah.
checks in March.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not that many miles to Chincoteague.
It's that when you're looking at legal fees, is that, maybe it's town administration, I guess, not town council, but. I anticipate that in the next year, we're gonna be working on major revision of the zoning ordinances. That's something that.
Well, that's kind of included in the $3,000. Yeah.
Does Eric Gregory, we want to help us with that, or are we gonna want a lawyer or planner who actually is an expert on?
Well, I don't have any knowledge. I mean, Eric is pretty good on, in zoning and stuff like that. He's our town attorney. We normally wouldn't seek anybody else beside that. No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Far
I think-
as I know, that's
their expertise.
in those areas.
Yeah.
And,
I don't think we're gonna find anybody that is,
it's real estate where
yeah.
they lack the,
And I think his problem with going up in the fee is HRSD costs,
yeah.
not our zoning, and that's not
Mm.
overwhelming him. It's the HRSD problems. Yeah.
Working with us on the entire zoning code.
Well, that's gonna, I think that's part of his job of the $3,000. Yeah. All right. What? Well, it's $3,000 a month. Yeah. And I think we're gonna see an increase in the next budget after this one. He's indicated that
Yeah.
he's gonna go up.
yeah.
All right. So so you want to go up, I don't know, what's the answer on the 3,000 travel? You want to go up to what we were spending this year, go up to 30?
We can stick with 3,000.
Okay.
That's fine. I just wanted to.
Okay. I mean, I think we're not way out of line here. Yeah. All right. Administration. All right, Lisa, you want to start? I start with Ann, reverse it a little bit.
I have no questions.
All right, Ashley.
None at this, not this moment.
All right,
Whoever I am.
Sarah. Yeah, I'm just trying to look, it makes sense.
I'm a little confused about the how we're getting to the 36% increase in real property revenue.
Are we in revenues?
Oh, we can do both. Yeah. Yeah.
So let me go.
I'm looking at the top of page 3 under the administration.
But,
I thought is it 30? I got 31% difference.
yeah, and the 399 of the 26 budget is lower.
Than what we collected. this year.
Yes.
So that's what I based it on, was what we actually collected this year. And as soon as taxes are, the due date's done and gone, they become delinquent. So they hit a
Yeah.
different line item. So we already got those, those numbers are already done for the year.
But still, I'm having trouble wrapping my head around the fact that the increase in the assessment was the 23%. We're dropping or proposing to drop the millage rate to keep from reflecting that whole amount in what is billed. And yet we're seeing an increase of even more in the percentage shown here. So can you help me understand how those pieces fit together?
I'm not sure that I can tell you how those fit together. What I can tell you is that the increase in value
Okay.
of, over the previous Accomack assessment
Mhm.
was 23%. Okay. And, which results in when you do the tax levy, the millage. When we did the budget, we did it I did it based on what I thought was the best spot, which is still an increase. It's a good size increase. But it is not requiring the revenue that would at the 24 cents with the reassessment. You think, you all have some very valuable property in Onancock. And I'm,
No, I understand all of those things.
okay,
The part I'm confused about is if the overall increase in assessment is 23%, if we kept the millage rate the same, it seems as if that would give us a 23% increase in the budgeted revenue. We're not increasing it by that much, and yet we have a 36% increase.
I think the 399 number is probably not, that's a budget number.
yeah,
That's-
that was a budget, and that's
a
not an
budget number.
actual.
That's not an actual, so that might be the reason, the problem you're seeing there.
No, because when I did it against the actual for the projection, it was 31%.
Yeah. Yeah, but the actual is still not reflective of every dime that comes in. So that's not,
Why wouldn't it?
because we don't collect 100% of the real estate.
No, we don't.
Yeah, so that could be.
Do you remember how much Matt, because obviously we know what our value is, we know what our tax rate is, we know what we could collect.
Right.
Do you know what percentage he would take off, assuming that we don't have 100% collection, obviously?
I don't.
Okay. Yeah,
I didn't see any documents that would tell me what he reduced it by.
I think he took a certain percentage down, assuming we wouldn't get 100%.
Or maybe we need to look into that. All right. Any other questions about that?
Well, I'm gonna hold on to that question. I mean, I'm not gonna tie us up with that question longer, but before we get to the end of this process, I'm gonna want to understand that
we'll do work,
relationship
yes.
much more clearly than
Sure.
I do now.
I understand.
I think we gotta do some math. Any other? The next page is outflows, expenditures.
Well, why don't we just do revenue for now? And
Well,
then we'll go into the expense for let's go on.
Well, we don't have too many questions about revenue, but let's do, okay, all right, let's just keep going here.
Go on.
All right, I don't have any questions about revenue, but I do have a bunch of questions about, but I got the credit card fees, 22,000.
I think that's open for
huh?
discussion. I feel like we should discuss that.
Yes, that's why I'm just bringing it up here. I think we talked about doing making people pay for credit card fees. So
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that out. That's one of my things. The $36 per software subscriptions, that's all stuff we have to,
Yes,
that's already committed, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we talk about that?
So that's subscriptions, not, yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, okay, that's my turn here. Okay, and then and then the website compensation, 30 grand, I have some concerns about that. So I'm just throwing that out. There's my three things, and I think we need to discuss those, but we'll wait to go through everybody first. Cindy,
What was your third one? I missed it.
the $30,000 for website communication.
Yeah,
I mean, I think we need to discuss it. I don't have the 36,000 for subscriptions. I don't have a problem with that. If we've already subscribed to these things, we have to pay the subscription fees. I just want to know a little more about it. Yeah, but let's hear the rest of it.
I agree. I've been reading recently about fee assessments and how more businesses and everything are going to adding fees to try to cover their cost instead of raising the cost of the actual product. So personally, I think that we should charge those fees and not absorb them. And then on the website, was it 2 years, maybe 3 years, time gets away from me. When I got a quote from a vendor, the fee for doing the website was something like 10,000. I mean, how did we come up with this?
Okay, so the website / communication was, as Bill mentioned earlier, that we just have a real struggle with communication and that bit with the manager minute and the constant contact and all of the stuff that was done before, and it was done by Matt, and so it's not getting done.
I agree with you.
It's absolutely not getting done. So it would be a subcontracted employee who
So this is the
has,
labor cost.
Yes.
that's her contracted
But I'm
price.
saying,
Right.
I think that's related. And I also think that in this transition period, everybody's been really stressed. I mean, I understand that. But you have to factor in that the new town manager is going to be absorbing some of this stuff. Not necessarily the website, but certainly a lot of the activities that you've had to do. So, you have to understand that we're going to have another full-time employee in the town manager.
Well, the problem you have too is your employees are not experts
I understand.
in the web site and doing the communication. So the quality of what you get, not because they don't want to, it's because they don't have the skills that people that do it are trained. Now, we can work on whittling down what gets done. For example, you could cut out the manager minutes or something like that and bring the costs down. But
How did you get to 30,000?
The contract
is
$2,500 a month.
And what is the exact scope? Just out of curiosity.
You want me to read the entire thing to you?
Just the highlight.
I'm just curious because I got so much lower,
Okay, so this is not the redevelopment of the website. This is help with website maintenance, which could potentially help with some of the things that you guys have felt like somebody that knows what they're doing on a regular basis. So website management and maintenance, email letters, provide an effective way to deliver important information directly to residents and interested visitors. Will distribute up to 4 newsletters per month. Now, this is the part of the scope that could be adjusted. Social media communication, graphic design and visual communication, coordination and community communication, say that 3 times fast. Staff and council support, and then reporting and communication updates.
Gary, just tell me this. I don't want to know the name of the contractor, of course, but is this an organization that specializes in government websites, or is it a local contractor?
They would not specialize in government websites.
My problem with the local people and some of the people we've had in the past is they don't stay up on the federal requirements for websites. Ours is non-compliant now for ADA.
Okay.
And we need a firm that's their job to make sure that we are always in compliance, as well as getting the information to, the public that we want to go.
But a firm that would keep us compliant doesn't update every meeting that's here, doesn't update the banner every day, doesn't update
True.
that
So
stuff.
I think there's a distinction between kind of the back end tech stuff and what someone can do that on the website that is separate and distinct from that. So that my sense is anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, Debbie, that this person might be able to do some web design and things like that, but the nitty gritty web development stuff and perhaps some of the compliance stuff would probably be better suited to another vendor, but I don't think that's the primary intent of this support. I think it's the comms where if you think of the website as a way of communicating, it's more of a comms focus. Is that right, Debbie?
Correct. Yes.
So I think somewhere else we should probably have a tech support line for some of those things that I don't think we'll know until we do a good diagnostic of who needs to do what. And the other thing I would add is that, it's really unfortunate that we're doing this before we have a town manager, because I think a lot of what the town manager is going to do is going to depend on both their skills and their inclination. So if we get a town manager that loves to write, loves to communicate, they might be just zipping off comms before they come into the office in the morning. On the other hand, if we get somebody for which that is not an interest or a strong suit, we're going to be more dependent perhaps on outside resources. So one way to kind of look at all these things about the responsibilities that might be entirely or in part of the town manager would be to say that we need to do the best we can right now, let that person get on board and kind of figure out what's in their sweet spot and what needs to be done elsewhere, and then make appropriate adjustments.
I wasn't quite finished, Ann.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I am very sorry. I am sorry. Sorry.
I think we're taking turns.
No, she's coming back. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, could you break it out? Website and printing to me don't go together. How much is which?
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's not broken down, but I can do that.
Okay.
So you said you want to break out of, what you said, website and printing?
Please.
The website and the communication element.
Well, yeah.
Well, we have nothing from printing anyway for the last. Our previous 3 year average was only $5,900, so that must have been for website stuff. Have you, because water bills get paid for through the water department, right? May I make one comment on this particular item?
I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a lot of comments, but since we're already on this one, you mentioned to me on the phone earlier, Debbie, that part of this was for marketing for Amy or whoever the fees are for the person. Sorry. I'm concerned that why would the town hire somebody to do marketing when Main Street's already doing the marketing? So is that part of it, or is that just?
Part of the marketing of the town, and maybe I'm defining marketing wrong, is the communications.
Right. That's different than marketing and for tourism. That's where I was concerned.
Okay. I don't think we're trying to do anything that takes away from the marketing that you're doing with tourism.
Yeah, well, it doesn't sound like what you described, what she just described is much marketing. It's more
No,
communication.
that's why I wanted to clarify,
Yeah.
because she mentioned
Right,
marketing.
okay. I think
That's
we-
it's like, I wanted to clarify
Okay,
that.
all right.
My personal feeling on this one is that we wait for the new town manager so that this person is probably going to pick this up. And I feel like one of the things that we are looking for is somebody who does communicate. So hopefully, and of course, we can revisit this again next week after we've had our interviews and kind of get an idea as well.
Yeah.
So, but I have a bunch of stuff
But hold on, can I just clarify communicate? Communicating and developing a newsletter is a skill. A graphic person to do a newsletter is different than having the ability and being a strong communicator.
I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Anyway, let me go back up to the revenue, and I apologize, guys. This is gonna.
No, it's okay.
So you didn't budget anything for a real property delinquent, but your 3 year average previously is 34,800. We've already collected 13,530 for this year. So I think we need to budget something.
Per person, well, that's fine.
Okay.
That was mostly because I didn't know the breakdown of the percentage of what was collected and what percentage was
Okay.
put in delinquent.
That's fine.
So it
So,
was just one budget item of 544.
okay.
So
Public,
if we do that, which is fine, we would need to reduce.
The 540
We'll
would
reduce
go
to
down.
544.
Okay, so, all right, I see what you're saying.
not necessarily, because how much more do we already have outstanding as of 2025?
I do not have.
Because, well, my question would be, is all of this 13,500 just people paying late for this year, or is this actual collections on previous years?
We don't have collections for real.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
anything would be-
Every couple of years, we turn it over to the attorney.
well,
We're not doing that anymore?
Well, we are turning it over to the attorney, but I haven't gotten
Yeah,
any collections.
Okay, I would
ain't no revenues coming.
recommend budgeting something. Public service, seemed a little high based on current. But our 3-year average was 9,100, so I just wanted to throw that out there. Are you comfortable with 8,500?
That's what we did
Yeah.
last year for that.
And we only collected 36.
Through February,
Public service was due December 5th.
it didn't get out. It was not.
Oh, well, January, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we need to see the updated numbers for through March. I'm concerned about the personal property current. I think it's overestimated. Currently, what we collected for 2025 was 177,501. Our 3-year previous average was 178,761. I think 210,719 may be too high. Sorry. Personal property delinquent was really down this year. I'm not sure we can assume that 8,500 is gonna be what we can collect.
Yes.
Um,
Hey, one of the things that we do not have for personal property is DMV stops. And that requires a lot of upfront
Oh, I
work.
know. It was something I couldn't get off the ground, and I know Debbie's had it on her, but it's huge.
Yes, but
Because
it,
we're missing one of the pieces because we don't have social security numbers.
Yeah.
We have to go through a whole nother system.
That's-
It's huge. And
Yes.
I get it.
that would,
I totally.
that would be probably the best thing. And
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. And I know we catch some on the counties because the county does put stops on, so we do catch a couple that way. So
Yeah.
that's kind of helpful.
Well, we got 27, we got it 27 actually, and then we're only going down to 85. What's the problem with that? It seems like we should go up on that number.
I'm saying we only collected 4,500
yeah.
this year. Our 3-year average is 27 almost.
Personal property delinquent,
Mhm.
am I looking at the wrong number? Actual
Well,
25?
the year to date is not in this spreadsheet.
yeah,
Okay, that's why I probably don't know that. I'm still confused. Why does this say 25 actual, 27,000?
Where do you see actual?
20, 25?
put it at the top of the column.
Oh,
20 says 20, collected
right,
27.
fiscal year 26 though. So all we have is the budget for 26.
But if we collected 27 and 20.
But our tax year 25 landed in fiscal year 26.
Are you saying we budgeted that amount or
Yes.
we collected that?
No, we collected
The kick-
15,956.
Yeah,
See where you're getting that number from.
Because it's not in this spreadsheet. I had to,
Okay. Oh, okay, all right,
It's
okay,
not Budgeted number.
it was
okay, all right,
printed me a budget versus actual through February, and it was also in our packet from last month as
okay,
well.
right, okay, okay, all right. Keep going.
Okay, penalties, we're not budgeting anything, and I think we should. Our 3-year average is 12,390, and we already collected 2,500 this year. So I mean, I'm not saying we're gonna make money off of it, but I would budget something.
okay.
Sales tax, business license fees. I have no idea because they're not due until the end of this month.
We don't make a lot of money on that anyway.
Yeah, you're
The community.
very low.
The communication tax seemed a little high. I project that we'll close the year at 54,619. Of course, that's just based on year to date through February. And our 3-year previous average was 66,777. I'm not sure 75,000 is a good number. Todd, you've booked 15. So, and I know things have changed on how you're receiving it, so I wanted to get clarification on this. Our year to date was 9,255. Oh, I did this wrong, excuse me.
Really?
Is it top transfer?
Gotcha.
Did something funky. Anyway, I'm assuming that's with 2 full quarters in because they don't report until, like, they're reporting at the end of this month for 3rd quarter. Like they would have reported at the end of January for the 2nd quarter. So I'm assuming this is mostly the first 2 quarters. If you piecemeal it out by 2, I get us coming in with 18,510 for this year. I know it's down. I did the 3-year projection from last year or the actuals on an average, and that was 24,805. But we know it's down. So I just thought maybe we could bump it up a little bit. That's up to you. Meals tax seems a little high. Now, I know we've got a new restaurant in town, so that's helpful. But our 3-year previous average was 260 and we're projected to pull in 280 this year. I think 303 might be high. Sorry, guys. Meals taught late penalty, I would go ahead and book something. I know we haven't collected any this year, which is interesting, which means everybody's paying on time. Yay. But even if you just throw $1,000 in, plus we're also going to be going after the one known person that has not paid us in years. So I want to be thoughtful if we're going to be receiving that money in this year. Miscellaneous. Typically, we budget something in miscellaneous. That's up to you. We've already brought in $4,500 this year. Our 3-year previous average was 11,723.
I don't even know what the miscellaneous, I usually, if there's anything in miscellaneous income, I rebook it because we
Do you?
don't have miscellaneous income.
We have in the past. Like, especially like when I was a notary, I would charge $5 and give it, and that was the town money and stuff. There's been other things, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I would just book a little, who knows? I was wondering how much the litter grant, what's the max for the litter grant? Is it 1750? Okay. I just want to make a comment about the VA arts grant. We haven't spent anything, which means nobody got it this year because that was due in February. So so how come it's not showing up? Oh, that's right. We haven't been reimbursed yet. But is that part of the cultural enrichment that's down? Okay. Question, sorry. All right, let me go to expenditures. Our audit, I know we haven't paid for it this year. You're increasing it to 27,000. Have we been told us what the new rate is? Yeah. Okay, dang it. I was hoping to save like $2,000. I definitely think the credit card fee is open for discussion. That would save us. I got us coming in at just 22,748 for the year. Of course, that's an estimate based on our previous 8 months. Payroll processing seems a little under budget to what I project we'll end up with at the end of the year, but I'll leave that to you. Professional development, you're booking 4,000 for the year. I feel like it could be a little under budgeted, but you guys know what you have coming up, so that's up to you or up to us, but let us know what you need. I did have a question on the software subscription because our current year I was projected at coming in at $22,005. Have they told us it's going up $11,000?
Software subscriptions is different than software support.
No, I know. I'm not talking about support. I'm talking about the subscription itself.
So are you talking about, software subscription includes everything that we have a subscription for, Zoom accounts.
I understand.
Adobe, the GIS system, I can't even recall all of them, plus Southern.
Right. I understand that, but based on what your 8 months in looks like, we're only going to come up to 22,000 this year. I didn't do the 3-year on this one. But that looks like based on the 3-year, that's probably a good number. So I just wanted to see if did you count, try to do the 0-line budget and go through them all? What the costs were for next year?
I just try to gather all of the subscriptions and get a number for it.
I think software support's probably under budgeted.
That's based on what they charge us right now, times 12.
Okay, so in 8 months in, we're already at 12,531. Is this a monthly bill?
So software support is truly just the subscriptions for
The support
365.
for 365. Okay.
And all of the licensures for that, all of the email licensures, all of the online, like there's 3 levels there.
But do we pay that monthly?
Yes.
Or, okay, so I still have us projected at paying 18,796 this year. So if you don't mind just double checking. Office equipment, you guys have already spent over $4,000 this year. Do we have anything special that we've got planned coming up, or do you think 4,000 should do it?
I don't have anything special planned.
Okay. Postage seems under budget or over budget. I was looking at this as over budget because water also pays for postage. So as of our 8 months in, we've spent 3,500 already. And I've got us at a 12-month, at the end of this year, we'd have spent 5,300, so 8,100 seems high.
The rates.
We're also going to full-size bills.
Yeah, so,
But that's also gonna come out of the water budget, not us.
We think there's some in there, the water postage, but I'm not sure how much.
Well, there shouldn't be anything with water in there at all.
There's, yeah. And actually the water, and when we get there, the water postage looks low.
I have 3,000 in postage underwater. But our postage would include all of the real estate bills, all of the supplemental bills, and all of the business licenses that we mail out. I can't think of what else, any correspondence.
It does seem a little high, but if you guys wanna get back to us on that one. Telephone looks like it might be under budgeted as well. I've got us coming out at 11,337 for our 12-month projection for this year, and you're booking 9. I'm worried it's a little under. But are the bills like the same amount every month, or do they vary? Do you know?
they're monthly.
No, they're monthly, they're the same.
Yeah.
They're the same.
That would be the
Let's
voicemail.
not be seeing a billing cycle's not coming in at, or something, missing one of the
Sure.
cycles for these monthly payments. You're missing a cycle or something that could skew it one way or another. So we paid it early or paid it late, so you're not picking it up. Because it doesn't make sense if we're paying the same amount every month. It should be, you multiply it times 12, it should be the number.
You mean for the telephone?
Yeah, for the things, for the subscription services as well. If we're paying an X amount a month, it should be that times 12.
Right.
So the actual, what we did is maybe not accurate because we're not paying it at the same time every, or something going on there. I understand what you're saying, but,
Yeah, but even if, let's say Debbie accidentally was late on the bill and she paid 2 in 1 month, when you divide your 8 months in by 8,
but
it's still
your
gonna
8
give you the
month might not be
monthly.
missing, it might be picking up from some weird thing. I don't know.
Oh,
That's what, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but if it's a fixed rate per month, that's gotta be that
Oh, I
times
don't
12.
want to increase
know,
expenses
yeah.
at all.
I know.
I just want to be realistic.
Yeah, I know, but I understand what you're saying, but unless it's a variable bill, it should be 12 times whatever the payment is.
So I think that's the question.
Yeah, I know.
Is it?
Yeah, then she said it is, yeah, so we'll look into, they're gonna look into it. I hope you guys are hopefully writing all this down.
I know the insurances all went up, but some of them seem really wonky. Like general liability is up 239%. But workers' comp, I know we haven't had any claims, so that's great.
So the 26 budget was $10,000 short on the actual premium.
Okay.
And then our insurance for this year went up another couple of $1,000s. So
Okay.
it's really a swing of about 12,000 there. And some of them are also going to be moved around as far as where they're going to be like allocated.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the things I think that's happened is that previously, some of the budgets were done before actual numbers had come in, like for insurance,
All right.
health insurance, things like that. So that they were the best guesstimate you could do. These are the numbers from insurance folks.
Okay. I had a question on travel in terms of, we haven't booked anything there this year and you didn't budget anything. But I know y'all have been to trainings and you've gotten reimbursement for travel, so,
Must come from, does it come out of the other thing? Professional development?
but travel itself should come out of travel.
Yeah.
I know, right. it should be-
Okay, but maybe they're just booking it all into it. And if that's what you want to do, that, I don't have a problem with it. I was just asking. Office supplies, you've already spent 7230 in for this year. I had 2 questions. Can we cut back on purchases for next year, or do we have special plans? Just trying to trim where we can. If you think that 7,500 is reasonable, that's fine, but if we could trim it a little bit.
This planning commission and all that comes in, right? The planning commission and those kinds of things And they're updating the comp plan.
But that, I thought you said that that was all in the town council expenditures.
This year,
This,
for 27 budget, there was no budget line for office supplies
Yes.
for town council.
Okay.
So may I ask, so you're using the office supplies line to pay for the maps and, perhaps printing expenditures, right, when we produce a certain number of hard copies of the plan? Is that, I mean, is that?
But we have to budget for it, yeah.
I haven't,
Yeah.
I haven't paid for any maps yet.
we haven't gotten an invoice or anything for any
Well,
maps.
maps wouldn't fall under printing
No,
or
yeah,
office supplies, would it?
no.
Well, you print the maps. I mean, you could.
No, but except for printing, but that
Unless
would
you
be
have a separate line
printing.
for planning
Yeah.
commission.
Okay, I was just curious, so the cultural enrichment is where the arts grant is, and is there something else in there?
Nobody knows what.
It's okay. That's okay, it's not a huge amount. I would probably book something for miscellaneous. Didn't we already talk about that? I thought we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was income.
Revenue.
Under revenue, okay, I would probably book a little something under here. We have a previous 3-year average of $3,600, $6,300, excuse me. Probably book a little something in there. Oh, we've already talked about the website and printing, town events. I was interested in the increase to the decorating committee as well. Why are we doing that this year?
There was a request for that. There's one of
That was the
the
committee's. report.
Christmas decorations.
Okay,
That
I
was,
know other people have made requests that did not hit the budget, so that's why I was.
well, that's their
interested to know
request
why.
if you don't, yeah.
Okay, that was it. Sorry, guys.
You're not gonna say anything about the Main Street partnership?
Oh, well, yeah, I should probably mention that. We did ask for an increase, and we don't want it necessarily tied to tot anymore either. Unfortunately, tot taxes are going down in town. There's not a lot of availability for rooms and, you know, if people aren't using their special use permits for the purpose, you know, how can a neighbor potentially pick that up and use their permit and actually generate revenue for the town? Main Street's doing a great job. We haven't had an increase at all, and we are the absolutely lowest paid locale, Main Street program, entire state of Virginia. We're not asking for a lot. We're just asking for a slight increase, which, so what I looked at for that was, on average, the top we've been bringing in was like 18,000 and change on average for the last 3 years. This last year was rough. We only got 16,000. But that's part of the reason why I want to remove it from, being tied to tot. I want to know what we are going to bring in. And, we have been doing a great job and our costs are also going up. And so I would like council to consider that the increase. We asked for 25. I'll be happy to discuss any amount. You know, this is a negotiation essentially, if council's willing to do it. I didn't have a question. I was making a statement about the request Main Street had made that did not get funded. Main Street had also asked for marketing money, specifically that would go directly into marketing the town. I see that didn't get budgeted. We asked for 30,000. That's okay. We also know this is a tight budget year. We are still going to put something in front of town council talking about why we're wanting to do this and what it would look like. And so we are going to still send something out to everybody, show our value in terms of marketing. So if we could potentially find any additional marketing funds that Main Street could utilize specifically. And part of the reason for this is the state funding for the grants has decreased because more and more people are applying and the state doesn't necessarily increase what they're giving us, just, you know, given their partners to give out to everybody. These VTC grants are open to businesses, not just organizations. So
Okay, I think you've made your play for Main Street. Yeah, good.
thank you.
Yeah. Ann, you want to got anything come back with? We got a lot of stuff. going on.
I just want to apologize again for interrupting Cindy. I did have a question on Main Street. That 15,000, Is that the funding that's documented in the MOU, or is that something different?
It's in the MOU. It says that through this year, our MOU changes on July of every year based on the town budget. Our current MOU is 15,000 or 75% of tot, whichever is higher. And we've already been paid out for this year in August, I think, because after you got all the tot in for that last quarter is when we get our payment.
Okay, so if that figure changed, it would be, there's gonna be a new MOU for next year then?
Yes, yeah, we have to do one every year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we need to give a little direction to staff here about where we're going on this. So a lot of numbers thrown out, but it looks like I was going down the list at 22,000 for credit cards. We're going to drop that, correct? Everybody's agreed on that one?
Well, I think that, okay, so there's a couple of things about the credit cards. First of all, my understanding on the credit card fees for the water was that fee was part of doing business and that fee was incorporated in our water rates.
That was something that Matt did.
Correct. So I just want to clarify that if we're going to kick that back to the
So then why is
consumer.
the water absorbing these credit card fees? Why is the general fund?
Yeah, that's a good point. And plus, we're not raising water rates, so, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
let me jump in. I think, Debbie, are you getting to the idea that there's sort of two groups of credit card fees? There's there's the water ones,
Water and sewer, yeah.
water and sewer ones that have the credit card fee rolled into the rates. And then there's the taxes and licenses and other things, which I think is this.
No,
guy.
they are currently, but they're all one budget line.
Okay.
So if we push that along to the consumer, would there be the expectation that the rate changes because its cost of doing business already has their
No,
credit
because
card rate in
theory,
it?
we should be increasing water rates even a small amount every year so that we can build up funds to replace the water system.
Okay, but, okay.
Yeah, one of the things I'm recommending, I'm trying to get a number, and it would come out of the capital, is a complete water rate study that not just does the water itself, but it looks at the lines, the infrastructure that does it to see about a replacement schedule, and for the equipment, and for goodness sakes, a shed to put your equipment under, because leaving it out, the chipper out and things like that out in the open, especially during the winter weather, really shortens the life and really cuts back on our ability to be efficient in going out and doing it. So we're looking at, my thing is to look at what is needed for public works in terms of the infrastructure and the machinery and equipment to keep it going. And that's going to be quite a study. But as far as I know, I have not seen that. Every water rate study seems to be dealing with the actual production and distribution of the water.
Yes.
And this goes beyond that to try to make sure that all of a sudden you don't find out you got to replace all the lines on Market Street. That it was scheduled that the rates would have that built into them.
Well, I mean, we're not talking about, I mean, if you do it with the credit card fees, everybody's saying, well, that's a tax increase, but you can always write a check.
Or pay cash.
You can pay cash.
Well,
So
but what you have,
Yeah.
but what you have is people that have it on automatic setup
I didn't think we had any automatic setup for that.
for
we?
water.
Waste Cloud does.
We do, okay, well,
I will say,
how many-
that if we turned over all the billing to HRSD, most of this problem would go away because they would absorb it or pay for it. We're talking about raising taxes and we want to be really thoughtful about how we do that. And if not every resident uses the credit card option, not everybody's benefiting from it. And it's not something that we've had for very long. And it's a convenience fee. You can do it from wherever, or you can come in and pay a check or cash.
Well-
There's a convenience to the staff for it as well.
Well, the
Meaning
other-
anything that's paid on Invoice Cloud overnight is literally a 2-minute push for me.
Yes, but
Whereas if we push that back to the consumer, there's a possibility that they won't use it. So then now you've just trickled all of that down to staff.
I think a large portion of them will probably stay because there is the convenience and they're making their percentage, their points on their card.
Well, the point is the county charges. I mean, we're the only,
Please charge.
yeah, no, we're the only people that don't charge this.
So what we talked about earlier was we could, because of the convenience of the labor side of the push on Invoice Cloud, potentially leaving that, but for your taxes and any other payments, you would absorb.
Do we know what
fee
the
for
difference,
that.
what the breakdown
No,
is?
I'm saying no. You can pay other ways. You
Well, hold
can
on a
also
second. I asked a question. What's the breakdown between how many people pay, the 22,000, how much of that is taxes and how much of that is water? Do you know that?
That I
Can you
don't
get back
know.
to us on that?
I don't know that I could,
You can't figure that out?
I'm not sure.
Like, you
I
don't know,
could,
okay.
Honestly.
All right, well, it's yeah, I mean, it's up to council to decide this, we need to, I mean, I think 22,000 is a big number and,
Can I just say that in the article that I was reading, it basically said that passing along fees is more palatable to most of the users than increasing rates. And you're assuming that people would stop using their credit card and you don't know that. They would potentially still see it as an adjustment that they're accustomed to in every other arena of life.
we're not planning on any water rate increase, correct?
Right.
Right.
Right, okay, all right. All right,
Yeah, even restaurants are starting to do this.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, so we agreed that we can still talk, nothing's final here. We just, but I just want to give you some direction about where to go. If you take that out, say, okay. And then you're going to look at the subscription support, but there's a lot of other numbers you were looking at about estimates. You've written all that down, but the key one was the software subscriptions. And then we need to give you some kind of number on this website communication thing about what we think is a reasonable number there. Council, it's up to council. So we need to give them something to work with here. We're going to go 0, we're going to go 30,000, we're going to go 15,000. Anybody have any suggestions here? And I agree that it'd be nice to see what the new town manager, but we got to put something in the budget here.
Can I suggest that they seek a quote from the company that I had talked to before? And part of that was reducing the number of pages on our site. There are things that could be done.
I don't think
That
we're
would-
talking about the website specifically here. We're talking about communications.
That's also,
No,
she's
it's
gonna
all part of it,
devise
but yeah, but we need actually a separate line item for the website work.
I guess that's probably the best way to do it. So the 30,000 there would really be website maintenance / communication. And then if you want to redevelop the website or overhaul the website, that needs to be a different website
You're talking getting in
update.
compliance and stuff.
Yes, I mean,
Okay.
the compliance issue is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that, I don't think she's talking, I don't think that money was going to that. Yeah,
Because the contractor wouldn't know those things.
exactly. Yeah, right.
So to me, I don't see the point in hiring a contractor that can't make us compliant with the legal requirements.
I think that's a separate issue. We need to do that, but that's not what this communication thing's
Yeah.
for. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Well, then I'm kind of totally opposed to this item because I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I also think that once we have the full-time town manager, there are going to be things that change that are going to reduce the amount that staff are having to do now. And we don't know what those are.
All right, well, we need a consensus here about what,
I understand. So my thing about this is I do think we need to think about the next person coming in. I do think some of this is going to be absorbed by them. I do also know that maybe there's some things that they won't just be able to get to, like maybe doing a monthly newsletter. Maybe we do budget something, but I don't know what her buckets or where the buckets are and what the costs were for each item. So I don't know what a reasonable number is.
Well, I think that perhaps Bill could attest to what he thinks the workload of a new town manager would be and what that would take off
Yeah,
the current staff.
I'm not sure there's too much that will come. Because the new town manager, the first thing he's going to be tackled with is HRSD. And that's going to be, according to the attorneys, we're talking about a year to 18 months. And that's not going to be just little. He's going to have to spend some time in it. The other thing is that the new town manager is going to have to spend a lot of time trying to catch up and figure out and manage the rate study and how, and make sure that all the things are covered in that. Your manager needs to be to be a leader. But it also needs to be able to guide on a lot of areas that, well, let me say, for example, and this is not to down Matt at all. In fact, he did a great deal for here. But your new town manager shouldn't be spraying more for mosquitoes.
No,
You know,
we
and
agree.
those are things that were being done at the expense of some other things. I'm a great believer in a thing called tan staff. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. So when you spend time on things that are not as important, you lose the time on the things that are important. And your new town manager has got to be working with you on how do you get more revenue or get a new revenue stream into your capital improvements program. You know, and capital replacement, those kinds of things. They're going to be high level things that they're going to have to spend a great deal of time on figuring out how to do and working with you all on how to do it. In fact, if the new town manager asked me what first thing I'd do, I'd tell him for 6 months not do anything, but just look and see what's going on. But in the end, have a workshop with you all to sit down to find out what your priorities are, where you want to go, and what you want to do. And that's going to be a difficult thing. I probably just make everybody mad, but that's okay. I mean, I think that's part of my job. And it's with you all, it's going to be kind of like herding cats because you've all got different ideas about what you want to do and what you think are important. And he got to pull you together to get you pulling in all in one direction. So when something comes up, you know how you want to deal with it. You have either a policy or a plan to how to deal with it. One of the things I'm going to talk to you about in the capital improvements is what happens when you do a capital improvement plan and then later come in and add something outside the budget, what that does to the money that you had in the capital improvement program for what you have in outer years. So I think there may be some things that they'll take over, but it's not going to be that much for what you really need a town manager to do.
The one comment I would like to make is that one of the main goals that I've heard from this council is having somebody be a good communicator. And so I would expect some communication directly from the town manager outwards.
Oh, absolutely.
And not in the voice of something else. And first of all, even somebody else doing it on the outside, who's going to sit with this person and tell them what to update everybody on?
The town manager would do that with whoever would write it up, would kind of outline, give them, we used to do it when I was in James City County, and we did bullet points and gave it to them, and they put it into a communication as to what it was you wanted communicated.
All right, let's move on.
I'm sorry, can I just say one thing?
Yeah, I was going to give everybody else a chance. Yeah.
So I think communicating well is very difficult and very challenging. And as someone who not too very long ago sat in the gallery at these meetings, I think, if you think about strategic priorities, I think improving the quantity and quality of our communication with residents is just crucial. So I don't know that that's the right amount, but I certainly think, so two things. One, communication is hard. I think we need to do more of it and do it better. And I think in the totality of things that need to get done, we are not resourced to meet what we're trying to do. We're not resourced to serve the community in the way that we want, or that I think that, that they want. And so I just would encourage us to think hard before we, reduce this too much.
The, I think we've done a poor job with communicating in the past, and, you know, and I think, we've had a couple of town managers that did, you know, news, you know, I remember one did a monthly, weekly report, and it took him an hour and a half to do it, you know, and it was a waste of time, if you ask me. And, you know, he sent it out, and he was, you know, took forever to put it together, and it was kind of stuff that we already knew about. I think if he had somebody that was helping him with that, it would help, but maybe, I don't know about, I'm like Ann, I don't know about this number, but we can talk about that, but I think there needs to be something done to improve, you know, communication with people, because like you said, the town manager's got other things to do. And if he's sitting around, you know, doing constant comment all the time, or, you know, working on trying to update the, you know, put something on the website, I don't
Well,
know.
that's always been town staff that did the website.
Yeah, but it's never been done, you know,
No,
never been done
absolutely
right,
hard
never
to
been
keep
done
up with.
right. I know, and I think if you have somebody that's dedicated to doing that, I'm not sure about the number either. I think there should be something there, but that's up to council.
Staff's still gonna have to email this person when they've got new businesses coming in.
Well, I think they would come in, I mean, I think for that kind of money, they would come in, meet with somebody for 15 minutes every Monday or something, and see what's going on. You know, that kind of money, they need to show up and meet with us, you know. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out. I think there's we get complaints all the time about we're not communicating, and maybe the new town manager is going to be a great communicator, but that's the case, like you said, and there's a lot of other things to do, he needs to do as well, and get fallen through the crack, you
Can
know.
we see the scope of the, not
Yeah.
to release.
Well, let's
the name,
work
but
on it
just
and come
go.
up.
Yeah.
I don't know where, I'd like to give you some kind of direct, we don't seem to be on the same page here about what we want to give direction to, about.
Talking about
Well,
different-
one other thing about this is, I think a very important word that we haven't maybe focused on is the strategic part. So it's not just about conveying thoughts and ideas, it's also about having an associated strategy, which I also think can be challenging to do well, and that is a skill set that I think we probably won't have in-house.
In terms of the website, and then I will leave it alone. In terms of the, social media postings and stuff, would that just be for general town communications?
Well, some of that general town communications, like if there's a water line.
Yeah, no, I'm just
or
asking.
all of that, those sort of emergency type things, I would
Right.
still take care of that.
Right.
But
Is that what you're thinking, like just general town, or are you talking about marketing,
well,
promoting the town?
Well, I think there's a big thing of just telling us what we're doing, you know, I mean,
Well,
yeah. Not necessarily
not-
marketing, but just say where the town, you know, what's been happening for a meeting. We don't put out a newsletter of any type, you know, to tell people what happened at a council meeting unless you listen to it. And that's, I don't know. So I think the website compliance is a separate issue. We need to budget something for that. I agree with you, but that's not in this person's
No.
wheelhouse.
Having done website work before, I can tell you that the staff are the ones that have the content. A consultant doesn't know what to put out there. They can't write stuff for you. Typically, they structure, you know, for instance, to me, currently our site has too many pages, too many places. Trim down, it's not as much to do. I probably can't conceptualize this well enough for you, but I can see that trimming down the site, making it compliant, making it more of a governmental site versus a marketing site would make it easier for the posting. But I assure you that only the staff know what the content should be. No one outside the organization can possibly know.
They can write, you can give, because I've done it before. You give them bullet points and the things you want to be said, and they can do it. I mean, I've worked with them that have done it, and they can put it on and put it in a format that's much better than anything I would ever come up with to put it on the website so that it would be exciting.
Well, we're talking about more than the website here. We're talking about, you know, other means of communication, newsletters, constant
yeah,
comment,
yeah, but
social media. Yeah,
specifically addressing her.
yeah.
It's employees or consultants that were doing this.
Well, there was an employee that was hired
That was their
that
job.
was their job.
But this contract is not some person sitting in New York City. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
They're on site, yeah, so, yeah, different. Okay. Well, can you give us, I don't know, give us some more information on that, come up.
What we can do is talk to them and make whittle down.
Give us a range, yeah.
Yeah,
Some numbers.
whittle down, and we'll give you a range of what they will do for the money that we put in.
Okay, I think we probably need to move on here.
Yeah.
And then
In terms of and sorry, I didn't have my microphone. In terms of the social media promoting, if that's something that they decide to do, we need to be really strategic about it because we don't want to spend the same money in the same places that Main Street's already doing that with. So I would hope there would be some coordination if that's something that council and the town want to do in the future, would be my hope.
all right, Main Street donation, thoughts about that? No.
I've made my case, you guys.
Can we get some direction on what you all want as a council on that? If you want us to look at increasing it?
I think it's very difficult for any organization to have a floating number that they don't know what they're going to get for funding every year.
Yeah, I think.
So I think taking it away from TOT would be a smart move and certainly make it, viable for the other organization to know what they are going to have. I mean, that just seems like common sense.
But you all would be the one to say that what that number is.
Right. That the new memorandum would put in that number.
So what did you ask for?
We asked for 25.
You got 15 in here. Why don't we split the difference and say 20? Everybody, I don't know. It's a number I'm throwing out here. Put it down and see what, is
I
that,
mean, the MOU, when it comes out, yeah, we can talk about that, but that's going to be after the budget.
Yeah.
well, you'd have to make the MOU reflect what the budget is.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's what we normally have been done. Yeah. But I agree, take it away from Todd, but I'm just throwing out some number to compromise here, but that's up to council. Yeah. I mean, we don't have to make a decision, just you can put a number and see where it goes with our budget,
Lisa, what did you, I'm sorry, I didn't capture the number that you said that the total had come out to with the tot
So our
added in.
so you're mean about the ratio, it's 75% of tot or 15,000, whichever is better,
Okay.
was how we were structured and set up originally, and that's where we've been for like 6 years.
So what-
And our last three previous year average was like just under $19,000 is what we had brought in.
So the MOU, I've never read it.
Okay,
I just wrote the check for it at the time. What does,
I can pull it up right now.
does that include you guys marketing for the town? What is the MOU?
It
and
does have a scope
scope?
of work and what our requirements are. It also talks about the fact that we have to report to town council, like our big annual report. I'll be happy to share it with you, Debbie.
No, share it with everybody, not
Okay,
just
let me
me,
pull it up.
because it's not my number, it's your number.
Well, do we need to get into
Yeah, do we need to do
yeah,
that
let's
now?
let's not get into the MOU right now. We make the MOU reflect what the budget number is going to be. I mean, there's a lot of things in the MOU.
Well,
that-
she's asking what the scope of work.
Yeah,
was.
but let's not get into that right now. Yeah. I mean, we're getting into the weeds here.
One thing I would echo is the question about the decorations.
Yeah.
That seems like an awful lot of decorations, and I thought we had some nice new ones, so
Well, we're trying to,
is this expanding this
it
placement or?
we're going over, it cost several grand a year to get the lift. And that's eating into the things. It also cost a fair amount to do the electrical upgrades. So a lot of the money has been going into lifts and electrical upgrades for the last couple of years. And the cost of decorations is pretty much in the last 5 or 6 years, almost doubled in terms of stuff. Some of them are failing. All the banners the Christmas banners are about had it. You need to replace this stuff, year after year. Just the garlands on the Ames Street Bridge was like $4,500. Yeah, that stuff's expensive. We replaced that 2 years ago. They look great, but that stuff's just gotten incredibly expensive. We also have new lights going in. We're gonna have more lights in the park that we need to put wreaths and stuff on. So that's the reason for the increase. But a lot of their money's been, like I said, you give them 7,000 or 8,000, 3,000 is going to rent the lift twice, or more, or something, and electrical upgrades, you know, so. That's the
Do the
reason.
electrical upgrades have to be done repeatedly?
No, I think we're there, but you know, we still have some issues going out farther out to get them to right. And if we're gonna put new lights in, we, you know, we need, I think Matt at one time, you know, we're talking about putting new lighting all in downtown. He had a pretty big thing in the capital improvements for that, but probably don't need to do that extensive, but, you know, I think they were looking at I don't know, people just love the decorations. We just, you know.
I will say Main Street's downtown investment grant proposal is for some downtown lighting on.
Yeah.
So, and Bill met with us to go over the plan and he seemed good with it, so.
I just think we need to look hard at that. No argument that people enjoy the decorations, but in the face of some of the other things that we're looking at, that seems like a place we can look hard.
No, but I do know that the lift is expensive and I do think that's dragging them down a bit too. So if we can keep it, I'd like to keep it, but you know.
I think we have some fairly nice decorations that don't last forever. Some of them haven't been over the past, haven't been particularly taken care of because we don't have a lot of indoor storage for long, you know, and, you know, we have to replace them every year. And, you know, if you look at I think those, you know, those bells were like $400 or $500 and now they're up to $800 or $900 a piece now, the lit bells. It's just really gotten expensive. A lot of it comes from, you know, some of it comes from China, unfortunately. So anyway, that's where we are on that. All right. So, we're not giving you a lot of direction here. Sorry.
That's all.
Well, did you want council to go around and talk about those two items and see what they want to do?
Well, let's go into Main Street number. So, Lisa,
I would like 25, but 20 is fine. We're happy for that.
Cindy,
I think 20,000 in, you know, a set contribution versus top.
Okay.
Sarah,
20.
Ashley, Ann, I guess you're.
So I would say 20 could be good, but I'd like us to be able to revisit it if we identify other expenses that may have a higher priority.
Yeah, this is all tentative. Yeah, okay. All right. Well,
I will say, like, we're still under contract for the 75%. So even though we're booking 15, it could be $20,000 depending on if all of a sudden we get all of our rooms rented out every week. I mean, the potential is there for more, just as an aside, but I understand what you're saying.
okay. Okay. So you're gonna go 20, Christmas things, Lisa?
I'd like to keep the 13 if possible, but if we need to reduce it.
Cindy?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think it's unfortunate that the lift and electrical upgrades come out of this line item because the electrical upgrades certainly support other things than just Christmas decorations.
Well, I think they're talking about electrical, just on the Christmas decorations,
Yeah,
not
so
anything else.
Not on the poles.
Well, the
poles will matter. Yeah,
the
that's-
poles have
They're
the
on the pole,
plugs.
But they're the only things that go on there.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'd like to keep it if we can.
Sarah?
I would say make it 10.
Cashley? Yeah.
That's what it has been, and I understand what Fletcher's saying about the increase of cost, because that's what it's been for a long time.
I'm sorry, can you all speak up? I can't hear.
Your microphone's not on, Ashley.
Yeah, we were discussing the fact that in previous years, the budget was 10,000 for the holiday decorations. But as the mayor is saying that the price of the lifts or the rental price of the lifts is what's driving up that line item.
Can we talk to whoever has the lift and they give it to us as a contract?
I like to see it stay.
And you're right. And
I mean, stuff is getting more expensive. 11.5 would split the difference.
okay, we got 3 for 13, so I think, yeah, you got 11.5, so I think we got 3 people, so I think we're gonna go with, yeah. All right, I understand what you're saying, yeah. I think we're gonna,
And if we're looking for $3,000.
yeah, these are tentative. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna come back. We got another shot at this. So we got two more shots
Okay.
at this. All right. Okay, we got to move on to, police. All right, we're not taking questions. I'm sorry. Yeah. There's no public comment. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. I was thinking about allowing at the next one, if we have a more if we come up with a thing, we don't normally allow public comment, but I think at the next workshop, we will have a more defined thing right now. Yeah. Well,
What we're talking about.
what?
Need to keep going.
Yeah, let's go police. Yeah.
We've got a lot left to do.
Police.
I try to keep the budget close to the same because what we've been using constantly. And we do have a budget reduction this year because we're considering going down to 4 officers because we've never been able to place the 5th one. But to make up for it, I went into the overtime and raised our overtime so we can help cover the areas and times we don't have someone on. So overtime was a significant increase from previous years to the upcoming year, but salaries dropped a whole person. A whole position. Thank you.
All right. Any comments specifically about anything?
No, sir. Oh, training is missing 4,000. We had to put training in there because we had to pay dues
Okay.
to the academy, and it's a little over 3,000, and we overlooked that.
So you said 4,000?
Yes.
All right. And any questions about police budget?
Yeah, I have a question about the reduction in revenue from traffic fines.
Yes. The courts are just not handing out the fines. For example, within the past month, I had an officer in court with 3 or 4, don't hold me to it, but driving suspendeds. And 2 of them had been there 3 times previously. And instead of giving a fine, he continued to court dates so that he can get their license back. So we're losing fine money just because the courts aren't handing them out like they were. And honestly, our tickets have dropped some, but not that much.
So Chief, do you know, I mean, what changed from 26 to 27? Is it new judges? That just seems very dramatic.
Yeah, we've had judges retire, and we've got one's 2 years old and one is pretty well 6 months old. Judging, I'm sorry, not age, but. So yeah, we've seen a dramatic change in that, and like I said, we are not issuing the tickets. Our tickets have dropped approximately 20%.
I mean, I'm certainly not suggesting we should give more tickets. It just,
Yeah.
it just seems dramatic.
Yeah, that's what it is, unfortunately. I mean,
Do you have any comments about reducing, abandoning, trying to get a 5th officer? That is a big subject. This is the first time we've ever real formally really did that. So we need council to agree to that.
Well, let me just say, you all, of course, make the decision, but you've been after a 5th officer for over a year.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And you haven't, as far as I understand, any had application. So are you beating a dead horse?
Yeah, no, I just want,
Yeah.
I just want confirmation from council. I think a lot of us agree with that, but I think we need to formally agree to that.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, Ann, any other questions? Any other questions, Ann?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Ashley?
Wasn't aware that it'd been over a year.
Yeah.
To a security football.
yeah, we actually did have 5 for a month this year. Yeah.
But one was in training, right?
Yep. Correct.
Sarah?
The one other thing I was going to ask about the fines, and Ann beat me to it, so thank you. On the vehicle fuel, I know none of our crystal balls is
Yeah.
very clear on what that fuel cost will be, as well as the other places throughout the budget where fuel shows up, but
Yes.
that's,
Let
that's a question.
yeah, let me just say, the history tells me that once gas goes up, it never goes back down to where it was. It's always a little higher. So, like everybody else, we're, just taking a shot at this, but we know that it won't go down to what it was.
Understood. Thank you.
Mhm.
No questions?
Okay.
Yes.
So for e-summons, we've already got 105 in for the year. And our previous 3-month average is almost 1,500. I think we should probably budget some revenue there. Unless the program's going away.
We cannot use that money. That money has to go into a separate account and we can't touch it unless we are buying. Yeah. Unless yeah. We had to buy, the other thing, summons. That's it.
So is there a way to take it out of our,
It takes it,
Revenue?
they actually
I
add it
guess
to the
so.
fine. To any fine that's handed out by the court, it's a $5 charge and that goes into an account. And the theory is after so many years, you'll be able to buy the e-summons program. And that's the only thing we can spend on.
so do we have like a special place we're putting those money so that we know how much we collect year over year to buy the e-summons
Okay.
program?
There's a police account, bank account.
Is that where it's
But that's for forfeitures, isn't it?
I don't know.
It was, yes.
News to me that it needs to be going in a separate fund.
It was handled by other personnel. We'll take care of it.
Budget it. Budget
I just want to make sure if that's why we can't use it, then it
Yeah.
makes sense. The 599 grant is you're already in for 35.5 this year. Are you all in already?
No, it should be another, it goes to October.
Okay. Cause your 3-year previous average was 42,000. So I'm thinking we might be able to bring up that
Yes,
a
I,
little bit.
What
Sorry,
line
that's a
item
fly.
is that?
oh,
It was,
I'm on the grant, the
Second line.
599 grant.
yes, I would dare say at least 42.
Okay. That's a nice little bump. Highway safety. We haven't
Ye-
collected anything this year.
It just started September.
Okay.
That's when it started.
So,
So we should be getting one really soon if we haven't got one.
okay. And the DCJS overtime grant, we
That
haven't
was-
collected anything in years.
No, that was a one time.
So it's budgeted for 47,401. Unless I read something wrong.
No, that's.
No, there's nothing.
No, that's,
So
you're wrong line.
excellent. Going through these sheets was definitely an exercise. Thank you guys. So that.
Questions, we keep items that have nothing in them.
we can delete them.
Like-
Well, that's fine. Yes.
Well,
because some of them still have trends from the past.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I
So,
understand. If it keeps going year to year, that's a little different.
court costs, we have nothing in for this year and our 3-year average is $15 a year and we're budgeting 4,000.
The reason is,
court costs, we're budgeting 1,000.
1,000.
yes,
Okay,
We got a
sorry,
vehicle
this
repair.
must have dropped, I
He's
apologize.
on vehicle repair.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I flipped him. Or training.
Training, he wants
No.
4,000 back.
Yeah, 4,000 needs to go
Oh, okay.
into that one.
It's in the budget we got Thursday.
No.
I was thinking computer maintenance might be a little under budget.
What might be under budget?
Computer maintenance. You're already 6,400 in.
She can rip up some computer maintenance now.
Yes, because every time our computers update, we have the programs we have to required to use will not work because of the security levels. So we have to get IT to,
Okay.
but
I don't think you budgeted enough.
no.
So I was wondering about the line of duty. I don't remember, was this a month? Or is this an annual? I think the line of duty is a monthly, isn't it?
Line of duty.
Something, isn't it? Yes,
That's different. This is line of duty insurance through Versa.
That's-
Right, isn't that isn't you put 25 in if you've already paid the whole year, because I know you paid in one shot, right, the insurance? You just
Pay
cut,
it 4 quarters.
oh, you paid in 4 quarters. Okay, so that changes that calculation, but your previous 3-year average was just under 3,000.
That's the premium.
Okay,
That's the
all right,
premium
that's
that
fine.
came
I
in
just
this
was
year, yeah.
just checking. Vehicle insurance didn't increase? Or did a little bit?
That's the premium.
Okay.
Those are hard numbers right off of the premium.
Gotcha, okay. Security cameras. Is that what that fee is? 16.5 annually? Okay. Vehicle fuel is up quite a bit. We already talked about that. Uniforms, the vehicle loan payments. You're anticipating an increase, but your last 2 payments have been 13,000.
That's, that is for a new vehicle this year. That's how much it will go up.
Tell me that one.
I
Okay,
didn't know.
that's fine. Then I was just making sure. Okay, then I don't have anything else for police.
All right, I don't think we have anything changes on that then. Okay.
Other than adding back the.
Yeah, they've got that.
Adding more money.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything we need to discuss, I think. All right, we're on to, Public Works here.
Public Works.
Oh, wait a minute, I missed the fire company and the.
Well, that's all level.
Yeah, that's all level. Anybody have any issues with that? Okay, all right. All right, fire department, okay. And then, Department of Public Works, okay,
You have a change in there for the trash revenue and for the trash expenditures. They're straight from what it'll cost us to, under the new contract. And the reason it's late is I just got it in today.
so that's a wash, it's
Well,
115.
actually, it's 115.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it is 115, it's got on mine.
And what
That's
are we
because
bringing,
you
like
got the new
106
one.
or something?
That's because you got the new,
Oh, I got a new one.
What do
What would
we
you ask, Lisa?
I was trying to remember what we bring in for trash. I was gonna look at that.
Well, 115 is what they're protecting.
I was looking for what we bring in revenue.
It's an in and an out.
115 is what he's got.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's,
That's
so
it.
you're raising the trash rate.
Well, the
yeah, we're
reason-
raising trash collection and the revenue and the expense.
Well, no, we're not raising the trash rate. Currently, if we actually bill all 800 customers
Oh, that's right, yeah.
like
yeah.
we're supposed to, then we cover the trash revenue.
That doesn't include the big businesses with
No.
their own,
No.
okay.
Problem is we have accounts that go inactive for snowbirds, or they might not have a tenant in there for a certain amount of time, or their house might be for sale and they're not living there. So the account is inactive. So therefore, if the account's inactive, you're not billing the trash. So our previous town manager, we had long discussions about how to do that. Because they should be paying for trash year round, even if they aren't here,
Because the service is there.
because
Right.
the service is there.
Well,
So
same
if
thing
we-
for the water and sewer. I mean, those services are available whether they're utilizing them or not.
Yeah, and they get a minimum,
Well, they
Right, but
don't,
if they make their account inactive, they don't.
right, so that's
it should get a minimum.
now Hampton Road
Yeah,
Sanitation
they
doesn't
do.
do that. If you got a meter in the ground, you get a minimum, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So they're still gonna get billed on sewer,
Yes.
even if we're not billing
I
on
just
water
don't
and
think
trash.
we should take accounts inactive.
Well, no, it's not like we're gonna build.
Well, that's a bigger discussion.
Yep, well,
Yeah.
that's part of the water rate thing. Yeah.
But at this point, you're telling me that you're expecting 115 and you're gonna spend 115, but we're not actually gonna collect 115. So we can't expect that.
Or we can, if I just keep billing them.
Well, and I think that's so, is that a separate, this is a big conversation. I know what you're saying.
HRSD does bill, if we have a meter in the ground, HRSD does bill for sewage, even if we say the meter is not being used or the account's inactive. So that's gonna be a change.
Well, we're not talking about water sewer right now.
No.
Let's get back to the trash, but,
Well, my point is
it's
that
unrealistic to- if we're gonna, if the maximum we're gonna get is 115, we're never gonna get 115 because not everybody's gonna pay, right? So,
at least based on our current policies.
right, yeah.
Yeah,
So can we come up with a more realistic number if you can look at that?
sure.
Yeah.
But,
No.
or when you're saying more realistic, are you saying,
Take it down as a rep.
Well, I mean, you could figure out what you
Yeah.
think it's gonna be. I'll have to leave that up to you guys, but it is, I mean, that's the maximum we could ever get, and that's never gonna happen, you know.
so if we've got to pay that to Davis, then how much is the town gonna
Well, we have to pay.
The
subsidize?
town used to
Yeah,
subsidize
we've all, yeah.
and have been subsidizing that fee with general fund taxes.
We subsidize it completely. until
We've
10
gotten
years
much
ago.
closer to break even on it in the last couple of years.
Yeah, we don't have, yeah, I mean, that's just gonna have to be, yeah, you're right, but I don't think it's gonna be much, but I'm not suggesting bring it down to 90 or anything like that, but just,
No,
you can figure out some number, Debbie can figure out, how many people are delinquent or something,
yeah, he's gonna charge you because his truck goes by there
I know, yeah.
and then so the service is.
Oh, I
there.
know, the service is there, I understand that, yeah.
So,
So do we renegotiate the 115? Is that new contract?
that's the new contract
For how long how many years is that?
year,
Just a year?
yeah.
Well, their millage rates are changing in the county, I mean, all that
It
stuff
goes
is,
115 this year, this fiscal year, then it goes to 118, and then I can't remember the next jump. 120?
A lot of money for trash pick, huh? And you should buy a trash truck, right?
Mhm.
But anybody else, but I kind of, as a taxpayer myself, I don't really want to pick up somebody else's fees. I think,
Well, I was thinking that as well.
Yeah.
If we raise it, it's the people that aren't here, or the people that aren't paying it, that everybody else is absorbing.
exactly.
Well, we need to do, yeah, we need to work on it. Yeah, I agree with you, but I don't think we're still gonna get every nickel. We're never gonna get 115, but you're right. We'd maybe get.
We
There
get
was a
close.
thought, there was a thought many years ago on your first bill of the new fiscal year to charge you the entire rate of what trash is
For the year.
for the year. Because if you have a contract with Davis individually, you're gonna pay it up front.
Or we could
If
add
you
it
get
to
a
the
year
tax bill.
contract with Davis outside of town services, it's $140 a year. I don't even know what it is, but you're gonna pay that up front all year, and that's it. So there was the thought of doing that, adding that to whatever your bill was the first fiscal year, whatever rate we came up with, so that way we were collecting everybody's trash rate up front.
Or we put it on the real estate tax bills.
Well, can we do that? I don't know. Yeah.
Could we?
I don't,
Because that's how you capture everybody who's got,
That's.
A location.
Everybody that goes away.
but you've also got locations that don't have properties on them in there too, so. I
Yeah,
guess
that's,
not-
yeah, some people, have a vacant lot that doesn't have a trash pickup.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work, yeah.
In the year 3, it's 119.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, if you can adjust that, I'll leave it up to you to adjust that number. And, all right, that's, okay, we just started on this, so let's, Ann, do you have any comments on this, Public Works?
No, except I have occasionally heard that we're short-staffed. I mean, do we need to think about having some capacity to surge, maybe with a 1099er in certain circumstances, or no?
I guess she's asking you, Bill.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understood the question.
So I think I've heard somewhere along the way that our staffing in Public Works is insufficient, at least at times. So
Yes,
do we need to anticipate perhaps some surge capacity for part-time assistants, or I don't know. I guess I'd like to know your thinking on what's the issue and what's the fix.
yeah, part of my thing is that this rate study because Public Works is mainly dealing with the water, is to look at that as part of the study. Because when I say that, it's overall, it looks at personnel, it looks at equipment, it looks at all of that. And it does it right, it say you'll need somebody at this point. In fact, one of the big things here, on this is getting one of our public works people licensed so that we don't have to depend on somebody else outside, a private citizen to sign off on our reports.
Mhm.
Well, also, aren't you saying that we're paying somebody to do most of the landscaping now too, to help alleviate some of their burden?
Yes.
Is that part of your?
Yes, that's part of,
Well, and wouldn't some of this too tie in with kind of our anticipated infrastructure improvements? So for example, if our pipes are aging, if we have some sort of way to anticipate
yes,
when we might have more issues,
Yes.
because we could have a lot more leaks and broken pipes, that would be certainly problematic.
yes, what it would look at the age of the pipes and that sort of thing. And say that certain, like Market Street may have the oldest pipes that starting in 2029, you need to start replacing the pipes in Market Street. So you set a rate that will help offset that.
Gotcha. Thank you. I think that's a great idea.
Ashley, anything on Public Works?
Well, the other thing is that we've done uniforms.
Oh, yeah.
We gotten them hard hats and shoes and uniform. I was surprised that they didn't have hard hats and protective shoes, and we're going to make them. So far, they've liked it. We're not going, so we haven't had to make them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cold in here.
Has everybody, did I do building and streets already? I'm sorry, because I had questions. Okay. Oh, so that hadn't come to me yet. Okay, good. I was like,
Ashley,
what am I doing?
This is building and streets, this is Department of Public Works.
Yeah, right. And I didn't know if it had come to me yet. Okay, just checking. Sorry.
I'm curious about the drop-in workers' comp insurance.
Payroll driven.
Okay. And I'm curious about the blacksmith shop being only $145. I thought we had,
That's their insurance.
thank you.
premium.
Can that be marked?
Blackshot, this is insurance. Yes.
Can that be marked on the line item to be clearer of what that is?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, and sorry, one more. Janitorial supplies multiplying by 6. That's a mighty lot of janitoring.
The 400% increase.
Yes. So you have the 2 new restrooms. It's not a lot of, but it's a big increase, but it's not a lot of dollars, but you got your new restrooms.
Well, we have restrooms here too.
Yes, and you had your restrooms out here, but they were closed.
But historically they weren't until they started doing the work on them.
Yeah, but that was, how long did it take to do the work?
Oh, too long.
Yeah, so you didn't have that. And
But the
me,
one
I
that's been
expect,
open for over a year, it's almost a year and a half, so we should, based on what you're saying, we're already seeing it in this fiscal year, what the expenses are for janitorial, including the new construction of those bathrooms. So it did seem high. I mean, right now we're on target to spend $600 this year.
So it needs to be what it needs to be, but I'm just, it caught my attention.
okay.
You done, sir? You mentioned the landscaping, maintenance and landscaping contract.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is that?
It's on the next.
It's
Parks and Lanes.
escaping down at the bottom of the page.
Yes, yeah. Oh, I
No,
thought,
those are wages.
That's park, plantings and landscaping.
That's just the contract. Okay, we're not on that budget yet though.
Oh, okay. So that's a totally different page?
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, all right,
for
thanks.
some reason.
Did you have anything for building and streets? Okay.
At the
Um,
bottom here. It's different.
Vehicle repairs seemed high. Do we know that something's coming up?
Oh, here.
The age on the vehicles
Okay.
and in history,
Yeah,
you know,
we just spent $3,500 today, and we hope that fixes our issue. So, yeah.
Well, you're only on target to spend, as of the end of February, was like just under $2,000. And our 3-year historical is like $4,300.
Yeah.
So 75 was a big jump.
yes.
I think we're doing a lot better.
But
job
we're
trying
beginning
predict it.
things are getting a little more age on them and the weather's taking its toll on them.
Heating oil seems low unless we had a crazy year this year.
We had a cold year this year, so it should be.
Yeah, we spent almost $6,900 in heating.
It
fuel
should probably
this year.
less. That was a super cold
But
winter.
I don't think it'll be 4,000, even less, and the cost of fuel's going up.
All right, we guys look into that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, that's a guessing game, I guess.
Sorry.
No, you're right. It needs to be looked at.
Street repair, I worry that it's not gonna be enough because we still, every really bad winter we're having, we're having all these issues popping up.
Well, the biggest cost is when we dig up a water line.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say it's the water line that, we have to go back after we dig up a water line. Yeah.
Stop me.
He's out now.
On that, I want to say thank you for the King Street repairs that I saw today.
They did all of them. They did
Yeah.
the one on
Yeah, they-
Sturgis, they did the one on.
Yeah, thank you. That was done at a time. That was good. We got that done quickly.
Yeah, he showed up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
If you guys are comfortable with 25, that's fine. I just worry it's not enough.
The 21.
1,000 for street repairs. Okay, we talked about janitorial supplies being up.
32, when I was 24.
Is that actually done?
It really depended on how much street we tear up.
Yeah.
Well, our historical 3-year average is only 22.9, let's say. So
Well, hopefully the new equipment tears up less street.
Yes.
Yeah.
it was actually. Hopefully nothing will break.
the cleaning service, how much is it a week? Or how much do you pay a month? I guess I should have.
I think it's 6 a month, 3 a month. I can't remember.
So I got you based on, so you're 1,200 in for the year. I divided by 3 because you guys didn't start that service till what, November or December, January, February? I had $400 a month. That's $4,800 for the year. So that's 3,000 is just not enough.
3,600?
No, it just says 3,000.
Okay.
So I just wanted to double check that number. Vehicle fuel seems low. We're already on track to spend 6,200 this year, and the current increases in gas aren't necessarily part of this, what I was looking at for the 8 months in this year. So I would suggest you increase it. Small small equipment. Do we have any upcoming needs that we know about?
No,
Is that also like general like maintenance on like hedge trimmer? I don't even know what would be a small tool, but
Yeah, zero turn.
some of the things that
Yeah.
you use in the water.
Okay.
And fixing.
This is,
Oh, it's Public Works.
our historical is 5,600 for the 3 years, but this year we're looking coming in a little lower, which is great.
yeah.
Uniforms, our 3-year average is $314 and we're booking 2,000. Now I know when we first did a big bulk order of shirts, it was a big chunk. So are you planning on doing that this year?
This is a uniform.
Oh.
service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pants, and shirts with their names on them.
And they come pick them up once they take them and clean them and.
Okay, got you.
I didn't realize how much they went through until I was.
When is that,
watching.
when, is that started already?
No.
No.
I'm gonna say, I haven't seen anybody wearing.
No, not till the budget.
Okay, thank you. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I was interested in what the capital expenditure is for this. That's gonna be $10,000.
That was to finish Sunset Park. That's the one project that we haven't finished yet.
Can I ask what needs doing?
I think there's a bench down there and there was a
Well, and
possible design of some ballers.
Yeah, and,
Oh, yeah, Ann was working on that.
yeah.
So that's basically, I think, the last ARPA project that hasn't been completely finished.
so my
So,
question, go ahead. I was just gonna say, we well overspent ARPA into capital, so this is coming out of capital clearly. But did we also do our April reporting as an aside? Did we get that in?
People reporting for what?
We have to report in April to ARPA, to the federal government for our expenses. That was part of what was on the list to do that Matt left.
I didn't get that.
Yeah, I've got that, and I've tried to do it. I've got to get a special number from somebody up there.
Okay, perfect. All right, those are my.
When, one of the interesting things that happens to you when you have to report these funds to the federal government, if there was somebody there before you, you go through
Yeah.
a lot to get that changed. And when the town manager comes here, he's got to go through everything that
Yes.
I did.
All right, any other questions about so I think you
I
got,
did have a question on equipment payments. I didn't see that in your current budget. Is that new?
Equipment payment?
No, I can't. Is that what your small, no, because there's small
Equipment
equipment.
payments or the chipper or the, oh, I don't know. I
The truck.
can't remember. I had them all written down after I talked to USDA.
can you get back to us on that one? Yeah.
I mean, it's.
No, that's
all
fine.
the Equipment.
Yeah, so if that's our loan amount every year.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
then-
okay,
then
yeah.
it is,
Okay,
but it is up 4%. So I didn't know if that was,
I think it's up 4% because I probably honed in on exactly what the payments were. I think it's the
Okay.
other ones. I can't remember.
thank you.
perfect. Yes, I am.
Can we go back to Sunset Park?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that back up.
Since we already expended our ARPA funds, should we throw that into the capital improvement plan that it will eventually be done and remove it
Yeah.
from this budget?
Well, that's how he's included it here, capital expenditures, right?
But he's got it on the budget here as well.
It's on the budget.
Yeah, I think we should take it off there. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that should be future planning if that's what we're doing.
yeah. All right, any other questions about,
Well, has Ann had a chance to?
yeah, I think she was first.
Oh, and was that the last one? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, parks and landscaping, I think there's only a couple things on that one. No, there's not. There's a whole bunch of stuff. All right, Ann, have you looked at parks and landscaping?
Yeah, so I have, I guess, some more general thoughts about our approach to parks and landscaping that I'd like to mention. Obviously, with our recent experience with purchasing equipment for Northeast and things like that, I think it would be great if we were able to take a more consistent view of taking care of all our recreational properties. And so that we don't need to rely on residents to really push us to make sure that they're equipped and maintained, and that ultimately we maybe develop some kind of schedule for whether it's the groundskeeping or painting something or doing repairs, that we're able to step back then. If there's competing priorities, we can look across the entirety of the properties that need attention and make them in a sort of consistent fashion. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
So, well, we got, I mean, Browder Height has a specific,
Yeah, that's the
there-
reason
Yeah.
we have put out as much as we have, is to have a consistent higher standard of maintenance.
and they have a
Now-
schedule for what they do, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and then
Now-
a comparable thing for the other, the playground equipment and whatnot across
Yeah.
the town.
Yeah, one of the things, we're doing the kind of the best we can. One of the things, and I think Chief backed me up, is with Northeast Park, we're putting in basketball goals and the painting. Let me tell you what, you think that's an easy job doing the exact art? Putting that, I mean, I had no idea how hard this thing would be. And the other thing is, when they put the goals in, they weren't lined up directly. I mean, so they're straight. So that throws off.
Well, that's our fault, wasn't it?
Yeah,
We didn't know, yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. We're not experts at that. So there comes a level, if you're looking for that, we don't have. You know, was it the arcs and things that?
Yeah, we actually had one all laid out, finally after an hour and a half, and it literally blew away. So we quit for today. It went on something else, but we will get to it. It's just gonna take longer because it's harder than I anticipated by far.
All right, well, that's not a budget item, but let's, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, is any other questions about, about, I guess this, any other questions about, this is where the Browder Heights thing is,
Are we going around?
yeah, Ashley,
Everything seems to be in order. I don't have any question. Everything seems to be in order.
The question I have is, what does the mosquito control line item represent?
It's basically a placeholder. We'll have at your next council meeting a plan. But this is basically a placeholder. It's between the highest bid and the lowest bid.
Well, that's encouraging because I think, what were we talking originally, 28,000 for the season?
That's the highest
Two.
bid.
Okay.
Thank you.
So a lot's going to depend on what kind of mosquitoes we're trying to,
Yeah.
because there are different,
so you've reached out to other vendors they're looking at?
yes.
Okay, and they have, okay, good, all right. Anything else, Sarah?
Okay, I'm totally confused. Where is the landscaping contract?
It's under,
Parks Planning and Landscaping,
yeah, plantings and landscaping.
2750, next page.
20,700.
Yeah, 750.
Yeah.
And what does that include?
That includes the entry sign, the
Ah.
hedge,
King Street parking lot, Custis Park. This year, we added the kayak landing, wharf, and Northeast Park. So it's all of our properties with the exception of Town Square.
And not the ball field, right? 'Cause-
No,
okay.
I didn't. The ball field?
We don't, never done the ball field.
It just was, because you said
Yeah.
all of our town properties, and I
Yeah.
was like that.
I'm a little confused about the amount because it seems to me before we paid something like 28,000.
We had to
Is
pay
this a
them quite,
reduced scope?
well, no, when we originally hired them, they had a ton of cleanup work to do.
Okay.
So remember, they had to like go and cut the hedge and get all that trimmed, and there was crazy amounts of stuff that they did out at the King Street lot. So now they're at the point where they're just maintaining it.
We'll still get seasonal plantings.
So be seasonal plantings, mulching, weeding, I guess, I don't know what you do, pesticides or whatever.
So we cleared out the King Street lot for parking?
No,
Oh.
no, they cleaned out King Street.
Yeah, but on our dime is what I was asking.
Broader Height, the first time we hired Broader Height
Contract.
contracted,
Right.
King Street was a mess.
She told me to fly.
King.
yeah.
I'm
Right,
saying
right.
Queen, I mean King.
Because King Street, that's the one we have the lease on that we don't actually own.
No, I'm talking about this lot right here.
Behind
This
here.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
No.
the supposed rain garden, yeah,
The rain garden that,
right,
yeah,
doesn't really work.
sorry about that.
All right,
Thank you.
you got anything?
Yes.
Surprise, surprise. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it'll be what it'll be, considering we're gonna have to extend it to tomorrow. You didn't budget anything for electric service, was that right? And there was no budget in 2026 either, but we've already spent almost $1,800 and our average, or excuse me, yeah, $1,800 and our average is 12,005. Why aren't we budgeting anything? Okay. Repair and maintenance, this is a big jump. Our historical is 3,300. We're on track to spend about 1,700, so 6,000 is a big jump. Do we have something coming up?
I mean, I'm agreeing with everybody else. These are just numbers you don't know. I mean, do we know the chipper's gonna crap out? No. Do we know that this piece of equipment's gonna fail? Like, this stuff is expensive to
Oh, yeah.
repair and it's getting age on it.
We're also trying to find somebody to do vehicle maintenance for us because that's big issue. I find out that we're not doing maintenance on our
We
equipment.
planned vehicle maintenance.
Correct.
And we also have plans now for the backhoe and the stuff
Correct.
we, you know, we're hiring people to take care of our stuff
Yeah.
that we didn't
Yeah.
need to, yeah.
Well, vehicle repair is a separate line item than this, so that doesn't come in here. This is repair and maintenance of parks and landscaping.
Well, I'm assuming that they're moving,
Which are their zero turns,
yeah.
the chipper,
Yeah.
those three pieces of equipment fall under landscaping.
And the lease that we pay for those items we have to self-maintain them, I guess, even though we don't own them? Or is it a lease or is it like
We
a
own 'em.
loan? Is it a loan?
No.
Oh, we do own them.
Outright, yeah, we don't lease them.
Well, I thought some of these things were,
There's nothing leased out.
No, we don't,
didn't,
we don't lease anything.
Mhm.
not lease, I meant loan payments, because wasn't there a conversation in an earlier budget about those being loan payments
We-
for the chipper? and stuff?
We may have, but we still got to do the maintenance. They don't cover maintenance. The last,
But we wrote a check for the excavator we just bought.
yes, and I actually bought the maintenance program with it for 5 years because it was the time to buy it.
We borrowed the money for the chipper, but we're responsible for the maintenance and upkeep.
Right. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to work things out in my brain as we go. This
Been here too long.
is a big deal.
I'm playing.
All right, if you guys think 6,000 is reasonable, it does seem a little high. Small tools is jumping up to $7,000. We're on track to spend 3,500 this year and our historical is 26. Unless you've got something special that you're planning on purchasing.
I'd feel safe with saying go to 4, at least drop it to 4.
Can I just say that if we're contracting it out, they're providing their own tools. Shouldn't our expenses decrease?
Unfortunately, we still have some areas we still have to cut grass in and maintain. So, and the grass cutters are really hard to keep up with and they cost a
Well, they
fortune.
should get a lot less wear and tear now. In theory. right?
Well, Burger Heights ain't cutting grass. They're
They're
just,
just they're not cutting the grass.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. That'd probably be even like another $20,000.
yeah.
My other question was about the plantings and landscaping, but that's the Browder Height contract and mosquito control. I asked just, was that gonna be enough? This is just a placeholder. Those are my only questions.
Alrighty, all right, Marina, Lisa, we'll start you off on that one.
Okay. Revenue. I think we could probably book more than 75,000 for transient dockage.
I think we're really worried about the economy and the fuel prices.
Yeah.
We've had discussion about that.
And
Yeah.
now most of that is during the summer.
Well, I counted that and I can count that like an 8-month window or 8-month
Yeah.
window of the wharf being open and available.
And so far, it looks like the fuel prices are gonna be highest during that time.
Right.
So we expect fuel.
But this is dockage. This is people coming to our marina
Yeah.
to stay.
But they don't come if it's too expensive to come. I mean, in the economy, it's.
I also understand that rationale, so that's fine. Parking fees, we didn't budget anything, but we've already got $307 in this year.
Parking fees are just something that, I mean, we can throw something in there if you want, but if they figure out that somebody's parked there and they go out there and try to get the parking fee from them, it's not.
Didn't even know we had a parking fee.
I did not.
Well, because the cows replaced, yeah.
Sticker.
That's a launching fee. That's not a parking.
Well,
fee.
and that's what we moved it to because we couldn't consider it a launching fee anymore. Unless you've got the county decal, then you're free. Everybody else.
Not enforcing that, yeah, no.
Well, that's, they,
Yeah.
like, I think it's just really difficult for them to enforce it. It might be helping a customer and somebody might come in and park and they don't.
No, I've never seen them, yeah.
Fill your gas.
If we're looking for $200.
Yes. Yeah, let's not worry about that one.
Let's think about it. Wharf gas, I thought it would be a little bit more than that. 100,000, but you're also anticipating less sales, right?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay. And the golf cart rental is only 2,500. Last year we brought in 35. And we're on slate. We've already brought in this year 2,100.
it's in anticipation of fewer folks because of the higher prices.
Okay. I think we'll still probably do a little bit better than that, but
I hope so.
I hope so too. We have a wonderful facility.
Yes.
Are we gonna talk about wages and stuff separately? We're just looking at the general.
Yeah, I
expenses
think we
now?
are, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we, yeah, we'll talk about that, yeah.
I'm concerned you don't have enough money budgeted for DocWall, which I'm assuming is the credit card fees or those are the square fees. That's your,
membership to have DACWA.
okay, you haven't had anything booked this year, but the last 3 years, the average has been 7,100. And then
What is a DACWA?
that's our online booking
Reservation
system.
system for the world, yeah. Yeah, you can, yeah, pretty neat, yeah, it's a good
It is
system.
pretty cool. Square fees. I didn't see, was that in there? I didn't see your square fees for the marina in here. Was that rolled up into I mean, it is all general fund money. It could all be in the one line item. I just didn't know. The square fees are listed on your budget in general, and we've averaging almost $10,000 over the last 3 years up a year for that. No, I lied. I didn't do that calculation. We're already $4,900 in for the year, and I anticipate that we'll probably come close to $9,900.
Well, if we're running the same logic with the credit card fees, don't we want to push this back to the consumer?
Yeah, but that's also
Yeah.
something to talk about, so I'll just make it a little
I
bit.
thought there was a problem with the credit card fees with DocWa. I thought
That's a separate system
yeah,
though.
it is. I thought there was some issue about that. We look into that, yeah.
This, I think the square fees are specifically what they're charging for people who are coming in and paying for anything.
Yeah, right, yeah. Gas, yeah.
Electric, we didn't budget for. And there's electric. We're on the hook to already spend close to 5,500 this year, and our 3-year average has been 4,400. So we need to budget it electric. The phone looks like it's gone up a bit.
Let's see, electric was some.
We got a different Wi-Fi down there.
Oh, okay, that's including the Wi-Fi. Property insurance, have you paid, so you're doing it in the quarter, so it may not just have been paid yet. Office supplies, you didn't budget anything, but we've been spending on average $1,500 a year, although this year we've already spent $4,000. What did we buy this year?
2 chairs.
And we're not expecting any purchases for them for office supplies?
We can, but you're talking reams of paper.
You're just taking that from the.
Just grab from here.
Yeah,
Right, but you're talking about, the whole conversation about around the wharf has always been, look how the revenue is supporting the expenses.
Yeah.
They actually have a little bit of extra revenue that looks like it could support that expense, even though it's technically all general fund dollars.
Okay, we'll do.
Well, definitely need to put the electric back in there, what
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying you gotta go crazy, $500 or whatever, but
I don't know what happened.
janitorial supplies looked a little high, and repair and maintenance has a negative number in for what we've spent this year. Is there a revenue booked in there?
Repair and maintenance, what now?
Repair and maintenance for the wharf for your year to date through February, we have a negative $3,277 in there, which usually indicates that something's been booked, that was a revenue. Unless you got a discount on whatever y'all bought or a refund.
Oh,
Because our 3-year average is 12,800, so it seems like we might need to budget something.
I know I think what happened with that is we had to pay for that pump.
Oh,
The
pump out stuff, yeah.
And then we got reimbursed.
We got a grant.
Okay, but we have historically spent money there too. We probably need to budget. Cost of diesel seemed a little low, but of course you guys are anticipating that we're not gonna get that many people. Advertising and dues, We've already 12,795 in for the year, and we have a historical average of 13,743, and we didn't book anything.
We don't. No advertising plan.
So we're not doing the big grant anymore?
I haven't never done the big grant.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, you
The
know.
boating infrastructure grant, it's a federal grant that's actually from the Wildlife and Fish
Oh, okay.
Department, who actually gets run through the Virginia Department of Health. And so we've written grants to them for like the floating docks, to rehab, to put the Harbor Master Shack in, to rehab the Harbor Master Shack.
Hmm.
They do anything transient boating, and they also do advertising. And so that was like but the funding cycle is kind of a pain. You apply in the summer, you'll hear in the fall, but you can't spend it until
Mhm.
next year. So it's one of those that you've got to keep up with if you
Yeah.
want it steady every year. But you can spend $13,000 and get $10,000 reimbursed.
Hmm.
Or something like that.
Yeah. I don't think we didn't, I don't think we did it last year. did we?
And the rent for the lot, that's the rent for the lot on King Street, right? 8,500.
Yeah.
But our previous 3-year average has been 13,743 a
I mean,
year.
the rent's the rent. I don't know. where
Well,
you
that's
get-
why I'm saying, well, they're, if you look at the rent, they're variables every year, and I'm not sure why that
I think
is.
They went down. I know at some point that the rent did change, but I don't understand why. That's a,
Double check.
that's a
But
set
I'm
rate.
pretty sure
That's
that
what I
rent-
thought.
I'm pretty sure that rent is the lot and the slip from Hopkins.
Oh, right. We do pay that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
But I will double check to make sure I've included both of those.
Okay.
Yeah, the rent for
I'm
Hopkins.
pretty sure
like
I
$1 grand.
have. Didn't you sign the rent with Anna Bagwell? Was that,
Yes.
that was like 4,000, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think
So that is Hopkins and.
the Hopkins rent is this with the Historical Society. We pay for that slip.
I just want to make sure we're budgeting enough.
Don't think we should have to pay for that slip.
That was all I had. Thank
Any
you.
other questions on, Cindy on Wharf? Sarah Wharf?
Nope.
Ashley Wharf? Kelly, I'm looking at Kelly, your name's under there. Ann?
I do have a question and actually could cross other categories as well. Do we track accountable property and do we have depreciation schedules?
Yes. They're
Okay,
in the audit. They're in the audit.
Yeah,
but, and are the expenses associated with the upkeep and replacement of those depreciating items all reflected in the budget?
No.
I didn't think.
So the auditors come in and do an adjustment.
Yeah.
They look at all of that, figure out the schedules, and then they tell us what to adjust.
Okay, maybe I'm asking the question incorrectly. What I mean by that is, do we have a sense of when we're gonna need to replace a golf cart or when we're gonna need to replace a vehicle? And do we anticipate that in our planning?
So the vehicle was just a hand-me-down from the police
Police
department.
department.
We didn't, we're not purchasing any of that.
No, it doesn't have to be a war vehicle. I mean, just any
Oh,
town
well, the police
vehicle.
department tracks vehicles. I know you do, yeah.
Well, I think what she's meaning is
Maintenance.
the overall.
Yeah.
Like for future operating years, do we
Yeah.
really know, as these things age, what schedule do we have? As they age, we more than likely need to up the operating.
Thank you, Debbie.
Isn't that the capital improvement plan?
Now.
No.
Now.
No.
Not to maintain the. vehicle.
not to
She's talking about
maintenance, the
not
replacement,
buying
the replacement would be.
That is a big picture
it. Yeah.
item.
How we
I
figure that out.
can't tell you how Matt did or didn't do that. There's a possibility that they just didn't.
Yeah, and I haven't I've never dealt with the depreciation schedule personally, so I've not dived into
The
any of that.
depreciation schedule and the depreciation expense on the audit is. Basically, the audit adjusts the expense of
Yes, yes,
depreciation.
Yeah, I just mean, when can we reasonably anticipate large expenses, like either replacement or significant maintenance? I mean, do we replace tires on vehicles every X thousand miles? Those kinds of things.
Yes, they're be in vehicle repair and maintenance for like the police car tires.
Okay.
I would say that it's just, it is, the maintenance is.
say that.
On the smaller items, the short term, I would say yes. Long term, like when do we need to do backhoe? No.
Okay,
And the golf carts are what, 2, 3 years old?
3 at least.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the-
3.
At this point, yeah.
So I don't even know what the life of a golf cart would be to even look at a maintenance schedule, like what their recommendations are. And I'm,
Yeah, I mean, they're not used for long periods of time. So I think it's based on hours.
Yeah, it was based on hours.
oh,
I just mean if you get it can be a big surprise if you have to replace
Yeah.
something, you're not expecting it.
yes.
Like the pump out.
If we're done with this section, may I make a point of order to take a quick recess so can use the facilities?
Well, we were just kind of going as
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I thought everybody was mostly done with the wharf. so-
yeah, we are. I think we're done with the work.
Okay.
Well, there is the hour 2 meeting set up. So either we would,
All
this
right, well,
Zoom
let's,
meeting would stop and I would set up another one and send it to Ann so she could log in.
So what
I
you're
think the
saying is
meeting will go as long as you want. won't it?
18 minutes.
Yeah, but I think it will go past that time for you, as long as you have unlimited hours. It's when you have the free version of the 45 minutes that you do get kicked off.
No, when you set up a meeting, you set up a time.
No, I hear you, but I think it will go past that time if you're still going. And if not, then we can.
we're going to find out. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so any questions on the wharf that, okay, so water rates are not, there's,
water charges stay the same.
yeah, I don't know if there are any comments about water. I have no, wouldn't even know where to start on this.
I feel like 500 is reasonable. I think we're gonna come in under that this year, though. But we got those new meters, so maybe we'll pump it up.
Yeah, that's what we anticipate.
Yeah, because our 3-year average was 510, 925, so this is under that. We might be able to pump it up a little bit. I just. If anybody else has an opinion on that, that's fine. Oh, was it my turn? I'm sorry if it's not my turn.
No, that's fine. No, go ahead.
On water expenses. So you answered my question earlier about the 5,000 for
Yeah.
training and travel with getting somebody certified. Vehicle repair seemed high, but you're talking about older vehicles. I thought repair and maintenance was a little low. But we're on track to only spend 17,400 this year, but our 3-year average is 55,000.
I know,
So-
but one pump goes out, I can throw that whole thing. That's a total guess. Yeah,
So
I know.
it's up to you guys if you think that's reason. I mean, I'm just
I mean-
throwing it out there. The digital meter subscription, is that already in somewhere in this budget, or do we need to budget for
It's
that?
actually in the sewer. But it's in the sewer, dues and memberships.
Okay,
Okay.
but we're also gonna need it for water.
Put it in. Oh, it's in dues and memberships on this one, 7,200.
Okay, so that's where you're booking that.
Yeah.
Okay. Repair and maintenance. 19,750 seems a little low.
I thought that was a fixed rate per month.
It is, that's the southern corrosion.
You know, we have a fixed thing with them.
This with the tank.
We have a contract. with them.
Oh,
That's
That's
the
a fixed
tank.
rate.
okay.
It's probably billed month, like here again, I think
Okay.
I think the monthly
So
schedule's
that's a
screwing you up. You're not
contract.
seeing a month payment or something, you know?
Yeah, it's in there.
Vehicle
Yeah.
fuel seemed a little low for me too. Of course, we don't know what the costs are gonna be, but that might be good.
Yeah, fine, nothing.
Vehicle fuel. 1312, okay. Uniforms, you answered my question on that. Lab supplies seem seem low for this year too. We're only coming in at like $977. Of course, that's an estimate based on our previous 8 months, and our average is $4,000 over the last 3 years, so 2,500 seemed low to me. And then purification is jumping substantially. Is there a huge cost increase?
Expensive stuff.
Okay. All right, those were my questions on Nah,
I think it's like $7,000 or $8,000 per 55-gallon drum.
okay.
Well, when it depends on when you buy the drum too. If you buy two one year, you might have to need only one next year. It can throw your numbers off. That's weird, Okay, Cindy?
Could you explain to me what outside consultants are?
Currently, we have nobody with a water license.
That's
Okay,
what that is.
That's what I
So
mean.
Dean Savannah, 500 a month.
Okay, thank you.
Sarah?
The things that I'm curious about are the things that are blank. The water lead copper testing, printing utility bills. I understand that's wrapped into the question of where the billing happens going forward.
I don't think we've done that.
Is something that we do here. They come and tell us that it's our turn to do that, correct? There's a
Yes.
schedule from.
My understanding is every so many years, and I believe when we send it, don't hold me to this, but when we send it to testing, they do some testing there also. And I think they also looked years ago, somebody provided what pipes we have and so on. It's based, my understanding is based off several different things, and we get pulled every so many years for testing. But do not hold me to anything I just said.
They don't let us know before the budget year.
No.
So if,
We haven't paid for it in a few years.
yeah,
And capital expenses, nothing is a question. And emergency repairs, I'm curious to see the nothing all the way across.
Well, we can, basically, an emergency repair is gonna be wrapped up in repair and maintenance.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of a redundant category.
So, maintenance would be any emergencies that they have, any I mean, what would you buy?
Just
IMAX stuff is the big stuff.
anytime a line breaks is emergency, let's face it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we can take that line out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that to me would be like if we had to hire like Ben Franklin to help us out or something,
Yeah.
something.
Well, it's still a
I-
repair though.
Still repair it.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it doesn't have to be emergency. I had a question, missed me, but the transfer to reserve, how come we're not transferring when we're making 93,000? Shouldn't we be a transfer there?
Honey.
No,
I'm not sure where you're, what.
We're- We got
Very-
revenue of 518 and we're expending 525. So we, well, for 420, I mean, so we have a net of 93,208. So okay, so, but we have no transfer to reserve. So where's, shouldn't we be transferring that into the reserve or doing something with it, or? I don't know.
Now, these can actually make money. The business activities can make money, just.
Sure, but let's put it in reserve.
Put it into
yeah,
reserve.
we can do it.
I mean, I'm not certain all of it, but
Yeah,
maybe we don't need to transfer it to reserve, but I mean, this way it just goes into limbo and
Well,
just,
we also talked about maybe moving some stuff into this, so that reserve, that 9,000 might go away.
it's 93,000.
93,000.
93,000.
93,000.
Well, that's not all gonna go.
That's not gonna go away.
We hope it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really, a transfer to reserve
Yeah.
doesn't, if we don't make it, we don't transfer it. That's
Yeah.
not really a big critical item. I mean, if we do, we do. All right, Ashley, question on water? And water?
So I have a question about water, and I think I asked it a while back, and I can't quite recall the answer. Are we fluoridating our water, and if so, are there expenses associated with that?
Yes,
Yes, fluoride, it goes in the water. We have a feed that feeds it into the water.
You sure, are we definitely?
Yes, I asked the other day, I
Yeah.
was told it is functioning.
I've
And
I've
what-
asked him repeatedly and he says it's working. It wasn't working a year ago, but it's now is.
Yeah, I made
Yeah.
it fix the pump was repaired.
And it's
Okay,
reported to the state monthly. in that
Okay,
report.
I might be recalling it correctly. I thought at one time maybe we didn't have a person with a correct certification or something, or am I
We still don't.
misremembering?
We still don't. That's why you see under training, it is so large is to try to get a person in Public Works a license.
We do have the, we do
Yeah.
have a certification to do
We
the quality.
contract that out.
Yeah, we contracted out,
Yeah.
but we want to do it in-house.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on water?
Could I go back to one? There's nothing under printing utility bills, but presumably we do, somebody prints.
Oh, that's also the purchase of them too, but I don't know how, if they've already got a huge stock that, well, you're gonna be dumping them and buying new bills, right?
Well, no, they'll just print on regular paper.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So that's just an office upon, yeah. okay.
So we're not gonna need that line.
But it would be a office supply for them.
Yes.
So you're gonna add something there, right?
And I can add a couple reams of paper, sure.
You better let the enter take it away,
What'd you say?
or take it away, but under office supplies.
Okay, any other questions about sewer?
The sewer, sure.
I mean, excuse me, any questions about water?
No. Nope.
Okay, all right. Sewer, Ann, you got any questions about sewer? Not much
I
on
do
it.
not. I do not.
Ashley? Sarah?
I will tell you that I have $53,000 in there for the transit. He said yesterday it was probably gonna be more about 75 for the other attorney.
So is that still about getting the pump station
Yes.
dealt with?
Not just the pump station, but the collection lines, everything.
All the right of ways?
Well, yeah.
Are we going around or is it?
Yeah, yeah, so we're waiting for
No,
Sarah.
that's,
I'm guiding.
Just in general, when you said that you wanted to keep the water and sewer billing in-house, can we do a cost benefit look at that, to see what it would, what cost would be reduced if we let HRSD do it and how, what the trade-offs are?
Sure.
Well, I don't know that there's really a whole lot to the cost analysis other than postage and printing bills.
Because see, we do everything else.
The administration side of it is still going to be here.
Well,
And the credit card fees, which I think we've agreed, we're just gonna pass that along to our consumer anyway.
let me say this kind of. It's everything on the sewer charging. Not the treatment or anything like that. The charging, when you do the bill, is based on water.
We know that.
So that everything, there's just a small little thing that's tied to the sewer. And they will send whoever it is calling in to us. So we will have to address it anyway. So the cost savings is in printing and that sort of thing.
and didn't you also say that if they have the control of it, there is information that
Yes, we
that
do.
we would be, that somebody who called in with a question would be asking our staff and they would not be able to get an answer because
Well, they could, they just wouldn't be able to get it from here.
No, because there's security levels.
Right, but they could call HRSD
Yeah.
and get
and
information.
HRSD would send them here
Here.
to somebody who couldn't answer the question.
Right, and they're up the bills and that phone number on their bill. The only thing they do is take payment. If they call that number and say, my bill's high, they're gonna say, call the town of Anacott.
Are we gonna still do, well, they don't do sewer adjustments, right? Do they, or do they?
Yeah,
They
and-
do?
And. But we would have had to tell them to do all of that.
But they're the ones checking on, so if it's a leak, we're still gonna charge water because the water got used, but if it's on the sewer end, that's between HRSD and them. That's not us.
It was gonna follow our policy.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
They're the same.
If a sewer line breaks, that's on HRST.
Right.
If the sewer line breaks on the private property, it is on the homeowner.
Right, depending on where the issue is,
Yeah.
correct?
So I mean, there's what they'll, and that the sewer line break is the thing that throws you off, because we will be able to tell on the water end of it, you know, if you're leaking and it has different levels of leaks, whether something is going on your water, and we can notify you. It's sewer that you don't know until it's too late.
That also makes me, since we're gonna be doing the billing in the house, it's not just, we're gonna need to make sure we're budgeting enough on postage, because we're coming from postcards to envelopes, and then we gotta use more envelopes too, so that's just an aside that I just
Well,
thought.
it's my understanding that if this doesn't work out, that we can eventually, we're not eliminating ourselves from having them doing it 2 years from now, correct? That's what they said?
It may be, it'd be longer than that, because in the meantime, they're
they're
gonna
changing
also
over.
go to the cloud thing.
Yeah.
And
but-
you
but-
can't get with them until after the,
But but we would have an option to do it, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So I think initially, I think one of the things that might be helpful for you guys to understand is when all of this HRSD billing part came along, I was always under the impression, and I think everybody else in town council was under the impression, that it was going to eliminate a position for us.
Not necessarily.
Well, and we would have we would have access to they would handle everything, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, reduce. the-
Yeah.
It would
Reduce staff
reduce it.
time.
Yeah.
To
And
pick up some of these. other
that is
things.
not the case at all. We have to still do everything with the exception of printing the bills they would do and collecting payments that are called into their line. So all of the transfers Hannah would still have to do, all of the adjustments Hannah would still have to do, fielding all the questions from all of the towns she would still have to do. What the pro to this, in my opinion, is, and then she has no autonomy to it, because we're not going to be able to access their bills. So if somebody calls and says, I have a high bill, we're not even going to be able to see the bill because we can't get into their software.
What the reading was, we'll have all that.
We'll know what the
information here.
usage is. Yes.
I don't think they do this for anybody, do they? I don't.
I think they have a couple of hybrid things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hybrid. I do think this was the brand new model.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I know in Williamsburg, it's two separate bills, one from HRSD and one from
Right.
James City County.
Yeah.
So there's separate billing. Yeah, I don't know. And it didn't sound like, I was talking to the guy, the regional director over there at the meeting, and he said, I don't think West Point still bills for their everything. Yeah. So I don't know.
So if we wanted them to bill for their sewer and we kept the water, we would then have to transfer the data to them with the consumption,
Right.
because there's not a separate meter for sewer and a separate meter for
Yeah,
water.
anyway, they took over the billing, so.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
You-
They were going to zap it out of master meter.
Oh. So why couldn't they just do that? Just out of curiosity, why couldn't they just do that with with it's the same reading as water? Why not just zap it out of the system then?
Because I think the hybrid, that's just,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
they didn't have for that as an
I think
option.
all right.
Are we
Any,
still in sewer?
Yeah.
Okay. We've already brought in $480,000 in sewer revenue. It looks like we're on track to bring in about $720,000 in sewer revenue. Our previous 3-year average is $784,000, and we're not booking anything for this. And we obviously have expenses, which aren't a lot because we're not there's no employees is designated to this department necessarily. And I realize that we haven't been budgeting because we've been anticipating HRSDs taking over the collection system. With that being said, it's now 2 years where we've been in the same boat. I think we need to budget at least for 6 months worth of revenue.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna have this solved in the next 6 months with the collection system.
What the lawyer says is probably a year to 18 months. It's a lot of work involved.
but I'm not sure that's going to mean that we're not going to get the money. That
No,
It was
it-
unclear about when that was going to happen.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
yeah.
he was kind of edging on that at the end of the conversation,
Yes.
because then he said, we're waiting on zoning. And it seemed like to me, if we got all the transfers over, the zoning was a different issue, and that they would take the revenue and wait for the zoning to come through. Because he was saying that would take another month to do zoning
Oh.
changes. So, I don't know. It wasn't clear to me when this was,
Yeah.
and they haven't been clear from the get-go when this is going to
I
end.
want to tell you that they have been very good.
Yeah, but
They have been terrific. We bill at their rate. They charge us at the wholesale rate. We get that delta.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime they could turn to us and say, we want the retail rate. Now, the way the agreement reads, that it's not adopted by either party yet. The way the agreement reads is that this will happen when the system gets turned over. A year
yeah,
to 18 months. But somewhere in that time, somebody at HRST may look down and say, oh, we're missing some money.
yeah, I know. That's what but where is the money? The sewer charges or so where is on the line, where is it, will we pay them? Is that the 250, 490 or actual?
Is it? Pay them,
Where is our wholesale sewer charges that we pay them?
Yeah, I didn't see that in here either.
So how do we know how much money we're making? And what is this 250, 109, or what is that repair? We're not doing anything like that anymore. So why is that even in
Yeah,
there?
we're paying property, so we paid insurance on the collection system.
we pay the electricity and stuff like that for the pump stations.
Yeah,
Yeah. They're still ours. They're maintaining them. But they're ours.
well, I agree with Lisa. We need to have I think we're gonna definitely get some money for a good length of time here. I think we need to at least show it somewhere on our books and just not have some kind of phantom number. And then figure out what and then have some kind of idea what we're paying them and see what they're,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's not in here. I was kind of
Yeah.
surprised.
and you guys work that up and maybe.
Yeah,
this
we
work?
can work at it.
And that
Would be-
would be, you had 5,300 in here or 53,000 in here for the transfer cost, and you think it's gonna be 75? Is that what you're saying?
What he said yesterday.
That's what he said
So
yesterday.
that was the worst case scenario, I think.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he said they were gonna pay 85 or 90% of the cost, and that seemed to be kind of arguing about.
that was just paying Chris.
Chris, that's a real estate attorney.
I know that, yeah, I know, yeah, but we haven't even talked to that guy to give us, yeah, so, yeah,
Yeah, we haven't talked yet. We don't have a number from him yet.
no. And that could carry over into the next budget cycle too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 53 is the best we
Yeah.
can do, given what we know. Because
Well, we
He's
have the money
supposedly-
to cover it in the sewer thing, so it's not,
Yeah.
it's not gonna hurt our budget. We're gonna generate a lot of money there, you know.
Well, you can adjust it for our next workshop.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
right. Well, we know, not really, because he's told us 83, so probably should put that in there.
No, I meant make the adjustment.
Oh, yeah,
we're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah. Yeah, you can figure out the revenue and what the costs
And
are.
we could
Yeah.
split, well, it doesn't, it's apples, never mind. I was gonna say, we could split the cost of the, postage and all that stuff with the water department,
Yeah.
but.
yeah,
So you
I
can
guess
figure
it's
out,
Splitting hairs.
you can figure out what our revenue is gonna be per month
Mm.
and then, yeah, give us, yeah.
Oh, postage and shipping. I thought there was a number there for that. Now I can't see it.
Or-
Is it on the next page? It is. No, it's not. Okay.
yeah.
It's on the water page, I think.
Some reason and that's why
Yeah,
like
it
I
should be
said,
the same billing
this was
thing.
a big project, so I might have
Yeah.
wrote down the wrong thing.
Does anybody have any other questions about sewer?
No, we really need to know what we're paying HRSD though.
Yeah, we'll figure.
About 15 or 16 a month. Thousand.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, that still gives us a huge income there, yeah. All right,
We're saying 15. Let's say 16 for fun. Just put them in budget. Okay. All right.
all right,
May we please have a quick break, or me, or can we put phone for
Go,
one
we'll
moment?
try to.
2 minutes.
Important.
all right. All right, I think we're
We're down to personal service.
wages, yeah.
So my first question is, I was looking for Morgan. Is he listed as DPW worker
Yeah.
under buildings and roads?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. Since the other people were by name, that threw me.
yeah.
let's try not to use people's names that we can avoid it.
I thought we had talked about adding someone. I know we've had different conversations over the months, but at some point it was training someone internally to get the licensing. And
Yes,
at other
that-
points, it was hiring somebody new.
In the water that's there, in the training,
Huh?
to get somebody the license.
But it's not.
Somebody of our existing.
It's the one of the
not-
people
yeah,
here.
There's no new position or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because when I saw DPW worker, I thought it was a new position.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Hmm.
They're probably really, they're new.
Alright.
So could you run over the recommendations about staff in general, just not without names, but you're talking about percentage increases for
Yeah.
staff here? So what do we got?
Five for that, we've got two, excuse me, for market adjustments.
I'm sorry, can
We
go
got two people for market adjustments.
at a 10% increase?
No. Yeah,
Okay,
Not the one in your packet, but the one that I put in front of you.
okay.
So, everybody is 5 with the exception of the administrative assistant. That pay range, she accepted the lowest pay range for that, well, she was offered.
All right, let's not get, let's just give numbers, okay?
Well, I guess I'm just explaining why she.
Yeah, no.
would be at 10%.
well, we're doing the market, yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
She's at 20, she's at 10%. What,
Yeah, so we got everybody at 5 and 2 people at 10.
well,
Is that
Nick, we
correct
got
now?
2 officers on here for 6%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, and then we have,
Just try to explain it, and hopefully that'll help you. So 10% for the administrative assistant was truly, she came in, she was at a pay rate, she's very good at her job.
I'm a little uncomfortable talking about this in an open meeting here with specific,
Mhm.
can we just, yeah, it's really that's up to you all, but the council shouldn't be involved in setting pay
I
for
agree.
individual people.
I was kind of
yeah.
shook when I saw names.
Yes, can we just,
It's public record, but yeah.
Yeah.
it is when we finish it up, but not discussing it.
Yeah.
And this is a Zoom meeting here. So anybody, in the world can be listening to
Yeah.
it. I mean, it's public record when we give the thing, but I just don't need to, I understand, your recommendations should stand, at what staff's made a recommendation. And I think we need to act on it.
I think it's.
It's not up to us to set salaries.
Ask questions
You-
about why.
You hire the town manager to hire staff and pay them staff what they think. We do the budget. You're not supposed to get individual about what each person's getting paid.
We do have to be realistic about what we can afford to do.
They've recommended something, you either accept it or
Yeah.
reject it.
And
That's my
I
opinion.
think
Yeah.
that's where Cindy might be.
Okay, and we don't get into the nitty gritty about each
I
person.
agree. I agree.
Okay, that's not our function.
Nope.
If you're in VML's handbook, you're not supposed to be involved in that. You call up, anybody at VML, they'll tell you to stay out of that, okay? And they've
When
come,
we see major jumps,
then it's either yay or nay, okay?
okay.
Yeah, okay. But I'm talking, I was
Makes it
trying,
easy.
they've made major jumps, but I'm talking about, just don't talk about individual people.
Right.
They say 2 people are looking at a 10% increase, and if you're unhappy with that, you could say something about that. But I don't need to get, I don't want to get into the rationale behind each person, where that's not our job, and it should never be our job.
I don't
No.
disagree.
Yeah.
In terms of a position, that is what we need to know.
It's
I'm
not-
sorry, oops, sorry. Can I make a comment?
Yes, yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So Fletcher, I'm glad to hear you say what you just said because I completely agree with you. And my understanding, and I realize I'm the junior person on this body, and so please set me straight if I'm not understanding this correctly, but my view of things, understanding of things is that the town council sets policy. The town manager is the administrator of the town. And it seems to me that if we have a policy regarding compensation, wages, all that stuff, and the town manager is following the policy, we would not get into an individual level. And we might look at the pot of money. So
Yes.
if the town manager requests $50,000 for personnel increases, we could say, well, no, we don't think it should be 50, it should be 40. But then it would be that the administrative officer of the town's discretion as to how to distribute increases, bonuses and whatnot within the confines of the policy passed by town council.
I agree with you 100%. I think that's what I was trying to get to, is that they've come up with a policy that, and we can either, we can say that's too much and let's cut it by 5% or something, and they can, yeah, but not get into the nitty gritty about each position, yeah.
Correct. I think that's an administrative function, clearly.
Are any of the positions changing? Is anybody going from part-time to full-time or
that is-
something like that?
We had I do have one question about we were going at the wharf, we were talking about somebody going from full-time, part-time to full-time. And to me, that maybe is a discussion, I don't know if that's even,
Right. These do year round.
Right.
And then another employee's increase was a promotion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
What's the rationale for part-time to full-time?
This person's been working all winter, working. full time.
Well, they're getting paid, aren't they?
Yes, at an hourly rate.
Right.
So if you budget it full time at an hourly rate, it ends up being the same.
I just don't think we need a full-time person right now, at least not until we get a new town manager in-house to really evaluate everything.
Yeah.
It just, we're changing staffing on that level. I think that should be for the next person to really come in and say that this is what's needed and how it's gonna work. Because it's not necessarily a full-time job in the winter, even though she's putting some hours in and doing some work, it's not necessarily a full-time job down there. But that doesn't mean it couldn't be. I'm just saying, from my perspective, that's how I was looking at it. I did look at potentially raising, because I did look at all the numbers and I ran a couple scenarios. And I did think that we could probably bump up the actual salary itself a little bit, but that was my thought on that particular situation.
And when you go from part-time to full-time, of course, you're picking up,
Benefits.
additional costs.
Yeah, and I looked into the 990 and that wouldn't work, and would be mandatorily required to be on VRS unless she meets that minimum criteria to opt out. So it's not just giving extra money and having her full-time, there's also that other piece to it.
Well, let's go back to the external, remove the wharf person from a second and go back to the recommendation from staff for the rest of the
Up to
people.
5%.
The rest of the people.
And the two that are market adjustment.
So that's the recommendation from staff.
Well, can I ask a
6%
question?
and 6%.
That, Bill, did I read in your letter that it was an adjustment and, or maybe not? My point is that a couple of years, 2 or 3 years ago, we did a considerable adjustment of over 7% to bring staff up to the market rates. And so we thought at that point that we were good with the market. And so I'm asking, is that still the case? Is that not the case?
Yeah, again, what's the rationale for the whole raise? Yeah.
Yeah.
And looking at the whole staff, yeah. Is that market adjustment again?
Do you want to answer?
Yeah, you want, yeah.
Okay, so
the history.
I believe the big jump that you're talking about was in 2023. And that's when that jump was it was a 8.7% inflation rate then. That was the published inflation rate. So that's why everybody got the 7% then.
That's not my recollection.
And then there was, hold on, let me try to get them figured out for you. And then we hired a Department of Public Works person, and that person's rate, I believe that we couldn't even get him in here for less than $20 an hour. So because of that, there was an adjustment to the other 2 staff members that were here.
So they're market rate adjustments to try to. Okay.
And then there was an exempt threshold where in order to be an exempt employee, you had to make a certain amount of money, which was more than a COLA for one employee 1 year.
I'm remembering Debbie was an across the board increase.
I think the across the board 7% that you're thinking of was in 2023 when the inflation rate jumped so high.
Well, so back to the.
Do you remember? You would have been on this council then. Lisa wasn't. Ashley wasn't.
Well, the rationale is that we're not paying our people market rate. Is that am I saying something right there?
That's right, correct.
And your rationale is to try to bring them up more than the inflation, whatever the inflation rate is, what, 3 point something, what is it?
It's
Call it.
3.3, I heard for the year.
So we have some people going to 5, which is a little bit of a 2%, less than 2% of a market rate increase, and then 10% is obviously a lot more. But that's your rationale, is that you're just trying to get people.
Yes.
Did you do comparables in other towns, or what's the basis of it?
I called around to Chincoteague and Cape Charles and Accomack.
I know.
And you compare responsibilities to responsibility. We're low.
Yeah, and as far as the officers, the 6%, that puts them below the middle current pay rate for law enforcement on the shore. So that's where it brings them out too. I did check around.
Debbie, to clarify, the CPI in 2023 was 3.4%. As best I remember, that was a market adjustment because wages were too low.
Yeah, I think it was.
And it brought it up to the market level. It was not related to the inflation.
I know it was for the police department. We did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that for a fact that we.
I really personally, I think the minimum wage jumps, it's hurting us because,
Of course it is.
yeah, unfortunately, and that's what it seems to be. That's why we can't fill positions, because we are paying not bad, but not enough to get your attention. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And I think these increases from our discussions, I ain't gonna say it's gonna solve it, but it's gonna help. And that's our goal was, of course, retention and to attract new employees when we need them. And
We have no luck.
no, we don't have no luck.
I mean, look what you're having to do in terms of how many of you thought you would be setting the salary for the town manager where you are.
And that brings me to another question. Is there anywhere, I haven't seen it, and I'm fully confess I may have overlooked it, anything in the budget for town manager moving costs, or with
No.
the hope that that would be before the end of
No,
June,
ma'am.
it would
Yeah.
have to jiggle out of the
Yeah.
current?
Where the aim, and quite frankly, I think your aim ought to be to get them in pretty shortly. You know, the longer I stay, the more kind of entrenched in terms of the community and the staff I get. And to be quite honest with you, that's not good. You know, the sooner you can get that person on board and get them into this community and get them acclimated to it, the better you are. So no, it's to come out of this year's budget.
Thank you.
Well, but couldn't there be a scenario though, Bill, where if somebody has to sell a home or isn't quite ready to relocate yet, they might come and live here temporarily and not actually move their household goods, or, you know, I mean, I'm all for the scenario you described, but I
Yeah.
think we might need to be prepared for some variations on that.
Then you probably ought to encumber whatever those monies are so that they come out of this year's budget. You know, you can encumber them and they're.
Okay.
I don't know, you know, and even you all don't know yet who you're gonna hire. And a lot of things play is how long do they have to, you know, do they have to give to their present employer? Do they have relatives here that they can come stay with? I mean, I rented a room when I went to Louisa for 3 months. You know, but I was on board and doing, they paid my moving expenses, but they encumbered those monies.
And do we have a policy on moving expenses, or is that negotiated contractually?
I don't think we've ever paid, we never had anybody move here from anywhere else, to be honest with you.
No.
I know
That's
like
it.
Cabell, would he pay his expenses? I don't
I
think so.
wasn't on staff when
I
he
don't
was
think we did.
hired, but
Well, so it's something to think about.
It's not unusual, but normally it's done as part of the contract with a new town employee. It's not, I mean, town manager, it's not something that's a policy in a policy manual, because hopefully it happens so seldom.
We don't have a
right.
written policy. Yeah, but
Right.
I don't know. No.
I don't know of anybody that has a written policy.
so I do know council has, remember, this is not necessarily a budget topic, but it has helped identify temporary rental spaces for town managers while they
Yeah.
figure out what they want to do and where they want to live. So we didn't pay for that, but I do think we paid for Bill Corbin to move down here. I don't think it was much though. I don't remember. That's something you could look up in the system.
Usually it's, my experience has been that if I have to come down here while my house is being sold, that's on me.
Yeah.
But that you'd pay moving expenses when the big move came.
First of all, can I correct John Figgy has corrected me and said that the FY 22 inflation rate was 8%. So there you go.
Might have been what the 7% was. Yeah, he was like.
Yeah, he's
All right,
texting us. I have another question. Was it? Oh, drat, now I've lost it. John Figgy.
Well, I'm lost about where we are here. So,
You need to give us where you,
so we
right
got,
now, this is my budget. You tell me what you want changed. When you adopt it, it's your budget.
right, so we got
And I'm trying to work towards your budget.
we got a 5% and 6% and 10% increases
Yeah.
for several different people. So that's, we need to decide whether we want to do that. And then,
So a 5% plus, and of course, these numbers have changed a little bit since I did it, since you guys revised your recommendations. I had in here was a 7.5% increase. That includes the 5% for all, plus the ones that were additionally, now that number is probably gonna go down a little bit. If you look at doing a 3.5% across the board, except for the 4 that were recommended, it was a 6.4% increase. And if you do everybody at a 5% increase, it's 4%. And the reason why it's not 5% is because the town manager salary is not moving in that number. So that I know the numbers seem a little off. And if you did a 3.5% increase for all, that would be a 2.6% increase to salaries. I'm just throwing that out there for discussion's sake. I'm not saying that we're gonna go one way or the other.
And I remembered my question. The General Assembly made some pretty significant changes to labor costs with their Family Leave Act. And I know that there's no rate that's published yet, but the rate will be published in, I believe they said October in what I read.
So staff can't use their banked sick leave anymore. They have to be paid out for family medical.
No, it's an insurance
Oh.
system
Oh, it's
that's
an
going to
insurance.
be administered through the Employment Commission, and employers will pay a percentage. And that's about all I know. It's going to drive up employers' costs.
Yeah, it's not until
Okay,
yeah.
So that
Okay.
gets there
okay,
probably in October for people to budget for 28 would be my guess.
thank you.
And so that's just to hold, because the town would still hold the insurance for you.
I'm sorry.
I'm just not, I don't know the policy is what I was.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna fall under the normal rules for FMLA, meaning federally, you're protected with 50 employees or more at one location. We just offer FMLA,
Yeah.
even though we're not required to. So I don't know if the laws will follow what the federal mandate is already, or if every employer will be hit with it.
Expands it
It expands-
exponentially,
so it
and
expands the actual federal
Yeah,
Hard with.
yeah, it includes many things.
Oh, wait a minute. If it's not, if it's
That
not a pack in this budget, can we,
Yeah.
let's move on here. Okay. All right, it's getting late here. Let's not speculate on
And you got a busy day
2027. Huh?
You got a busy day tomorrow.
I know. Okay, so we need I don't know where we're on this recommendation about, everybody's all over the place here. We gotta have some input to let them know where to go here with these numbers. Ashley, what do you want to, are you happy with their recommendation or you want to? Oh,
I'm fine with their recommendation.
Sarah?
My one question is the change to full-time or to year-round on the one position,
Well, I was gonna leave that off right now.
the rationale for the percentages on the other people. I can agree with, and I hope we're able to fulfill that. That one, I would like to have more
Yeah,
input on, and I think waiting for the new for the new town manager to make
yeah.
that
Right.
guidance is a good idea.
Anne, what do you about just about the,
I
guess
agree
you
with
can-
what's proposed.
okay, Cindy?
I think this is a hard budget year, and I mean, we're all pressed by rising costs, and as difficult as that is, the town also is pressed by rising costs. I'd kind of like to see a projection at maybe 4%, just so we can see the difference, just for info.
4% for all.
Well, I mean, for the ones that were 5%, and then the others, whatever you feel justified.
Lisa?
I would like to do what was proposed. I do think that we need to see where we shake out once Debbie updates some of these revenues and expenditures and see. Because if we can't, we might need to reduce it, and I think Cindy's, that's how I think about it. I'd like to do this. I think we need to see where everything else shakes
Yeah.
out as well to see exactly how much
Yeah,
of an
definitely.
increase we can give.
Yeah, we gotta see where all these numbers are gonna come back. In terms of the harbor, can we get a little more details on the rationale behind that? Because I talked to the T. Lee about it. He didn't really know anything about that. And he's the chairman of the harbor committee. So I think, can we get some more information on what the rationale behind that
Yeah.
is? Yeah, and then we get all these numbers re-put back in and see what our tax rate's gonna be again. I don't know if we've cut anything, or what.
I think we've also increased, which.
We've increased some things and cut, I don't know if we've made much headway or not, so.
If we put in revenues from sewer, let's make up.
Can't use it.
No, you
Can't-
can't cover, that only
cover-
covers,
That only covers capital.
Capital, can't use it,
it only.
No. Yeah.
Unless you can
I'm
find
gonna-
some way to move stuff into there that is, is not, not covered, I don't know.
Yeah, I would have a real argument about using that for.
Yes. All right, so, so you're gonna redo the numbers, if you can get that
Yeah.
back to us before the budget, it's I don't know, for next Thursday, I know it's gonna be tough, but I mean, if we just get them when we come in on Thursday, that's not gonna help us much, we need at least a day to look at them.
Okay, well,
I know that's, that's pushing it, but, yeah.
I'll get with.
Well, you gotta, Tuesday, yeah. All right, so we need a motion to continue this meeting till tomorrow night,
Do
correct?
you want to talk about capital?
Oh, no. I want to talk about capital, but is that something, do we, yeah. We have to.
Could I just, I'm not sure I totally understand the difference in the two sheets, approved FY 26 and after HOS.
Yeah, well, the one that does not have the 800 on it, this one is what you adopted as your capital program for 26.
Through 30.
Yeah, through 30, but I mean, that's the one you adopted. The updated one is the 800 you added after you adopted the 26. So what I'm trying to show is that really the only revenue that you've got coming in right now for capital is what's being booked for sewer. The sewer delta. That's the only thing. ARPA's gone. You don't have anything from the operating that really numbered that's being carried over that can be going in.
Well, what was the last year carryover from the general fund? I don't remember what the audit was. I think there was some from general.
But it doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't
It's
come.
not gonna be the same numbers as sewer revenue.
You know, it doesn't do anything to help you with like what you have. And so one of the things that what I want to point out is this is ending revenue. That's going to at the most, it's going to last another year to 18 months. But after that, you have nothing.
I think the biggest number change is in the first sheet of
Yep.
that we were over reserved by $746,000, but when you added in the school at 800,000, we're now under reserved 53.
But that's what so when we were looking at the numbers last year, we were talking about, or at the beginning of this year, when we did this, whatever it was. We had just known that we netted like 600 and let's say $30,000 in sewer revenue. That to me pretty much should have covered it. So why are I guess I'm confused on where that money went and why that's not reflected in this number. Because in theory, it should be like 200,000 out of the reserves because we already brought in the 600,000 from sewer last year.
I don't understand what the problem, about in 2030, we're still projected to have, you know, $2.6 million in reserves. So, you know,
That could be
what,
chump change by then.
yeah, but I mean, but we've got a couple things on here that we don't have to do, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I have 75,000 for decorations in next year in 2027. I mean, you know, I don't see I know we're not putting any money into it. Is that your point?
Yes, that's my point.
Yes. But we're not you know, yeah. So,
This is the capital. This is a long range thing.
but we're not going to run out of, we're not going to run out of reserves.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
See that you have to maintain, but if you know, the idle cash right now is a little over 2 million. But if you take the 800,000 out of that for the school, you know, you're at $1 million with no real avenue past the sewer revenue, which we know is going to dry up
That's what I'm
to
saying.
build it after that.
Yeah.
well, I mean, you know, you either spend less or you raise, you know, taxes to pay for the reserve. So, you know, that's
Yeah, I just want you to understand where because you all have had a lot of money in you know, with that ARPA and all that. You've had a lot of money. And I want you to understand that on the capital side, it's gone, it's going.
yeah. But we didn't have a lot of money 5-6 years ago either. We had, you know, we had.
Yeah,
we had
you're going back.
Yeah, well, we're back
Yeah.
where for a town
Yeah.
of 1,200, maybe we're going back to where we should be, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe, but. So I don't know what your recommendation is. Are you saying that we cut, you know,
No, there's not, that you ought to just move your 1 year with your capital, but what I'm trying to get is that you all need to be working towards a way to fund capital improvements.
well, I mean, outside of grants, what's your recommend? We obviously don't have enough money in it to make any real dent in it.
Yeah.
with Our annual budget.
Well, and that's one of the things I think too, that it's going to be a real tough job for the new town manager is to try to identify that.
Yeah.
And grants, and
Well-
how to get grants. My head's been spinning because I don't understand why your regional planning commission isn't, for the better term, a grant grabber.
Well, I mean, in years before, the only capital improvements we ever did with the wharf was all grants. I mean, we hardly used any of our own money for cap.
We used a little bit because
not
they
much.
were like a reimbursed. I mean, they had to pay a portion of it. I think it was like.
But not hundreds of
4%.
thousands,
Yeah.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
you're right, maybe we're just gonna be back in that situation where we're gonna have to depend on grants to get stuff done, yeah. And, you know,
We do have an EDA now, which
yeah.
we have hopes that they'll be working on some of these things.
But the thing you have to think about, and I'm not saying that not getting grants I'm not saying, I'm not recommending not get grants, but we get grants and we build things and we do things, and then that pushes our cost of operating up.
Sure.
And that's where we are with a lot of these projects now. You know,
Well, I mean, well, we're not gonna obviously be building as much stuff as we have. I mean, we just don't have the money to do that anymore. It's simple as that. Yeah. I mean, we're gonna have to cut back on that. I mean, we know it. I mean, there's a couple things here that we're doing, I mean, we're buying the police chief a new cars, I mean, that's replacing one, but, well, all right, well,
That was my one question I also want to bring up real quick on salaries is Eric has actually taken on a ton of new duties. And I know
hopefully he'll lose them when we get a new town manager. Yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah.
and to be honest with you, I would project that at least 6 months. I hope the town manager like leans on him until he or she can get their footing.
Sure, the new town manager would
He-
provide DPW.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see an issue there.
Well,
So
we'll see what
has
happens.
to at some point.
Well, it
You
shouldn't be
know,
up to,
Eric's doing it.
it shouldn't be the police chief doing that,
Oh, no, don't say that. I will say this, in a small community.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I was in planning and I wound up having animal control.
Yeah.
And somebody got to explain that to me.
Yeah, but,
So I think it's just as logical.
but you didn't used to do that 5 years ago. Yeah,
No.
yeah, no. All right, well, any other questions?
Can I just ask, will we get an updated 5-year capital improvement plan? next
Yes, we
time?
can move, we'll move, unless, if you have some other, I don't know of any other projects that are coming.
I know the Queen Street parking lot does need to be done.
Well, I think it could wait a year, but you're right, it needs to be done, but,
It's,
And I don't
well, at least we gotta get crush and run or something out there, right?
and I don't think we need $75,000 for Christmas decoration.
Yeah.
Can we,
Yeah, I think some of this could probably be dropped.
F-250 dump package,
We could probably, I'm sure
We
that
already
was
got-
gonna look into
Huh?
replace
We
some
gotta
of that
get-
stuff.
we-
take that out.
Yeah, we got one.
So we got a lot of
We
stuff.
got the excavator.
We got stuff coming out of here, yeah.
And one of the things that I put in there, if y'all concur, is the water rate and water study, the comprehensive
Right.
water study.
But that comes out of the water revenue sewer, not out of the
Yeah,
different,
where did you book that in the?
I haven't.
haven't put it
I
in.
didn't put it in because I wanted to make sure,
Oh, I think
well,
it's a
put it
great
in because
idea.
it's,
Well, that's one place we have money that we can afford to do something.
okay.
Yeah, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. We could do what we have some leeway there because we're making some money, unfortunately, yeah. If there's some way we could transfer some
Yeah,
of
I
that.
just didn't know whether you all even bought into the concept. That's the
I-
reason.
Oh,
I-
Hundred
absolutely.
percent.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. All righty, anybody else?
One more thing, could you maybe project, just to get it on paper, the garage to house the equipment, to protect it? Just somewhere in here, in some future year.
I don't even have a clue, to be honest with you. That's one of the things that will come out of that study.
Okay.
That could wait, yeah, that's gonna be a little,
Because I have no idea about how big it ought to be or.
Thank you.
all right, any other questions?
Yeah, do
And-
we know what kind of shape our water generator's in?
I'm sorry.
The water generator.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I thought we were gonna take that one out as well. I thought
Yeah.
we thought
Yeah.
that was all right.
We pay a contract with a company to come and they do a testing on it and so on.
Mhm.
And test comes back, their quote was, don't go by what it looks because it's brand new, because it's never been used hardly. And they checked the oil for metals and so on. And they said they have no end of life expectancy for it right now because it's not been used. We
Great.
haven't burned a tank of fuel in it in 5 years.
Okay,
So-
thank you.
I have asked for a more thorough test. I haven't got an answer yet, just to make sure, because I see it's in there before we decide to take it out. So I have asked them to do a very detailed test, which, and they were honest with me. They're like, we don't know what else we can do, but we'll research it. Because it's a cat generator and anything we buy will not be as good as what we've got. That's one thing they have said. But I have looked into it. I'm gonna try to get more information on it also.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay. All righty.
I'd like
Any
to
other-
make, you know, okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'd like to make a motion to continue this meeting to Thursday morning, April, what is tomorrow?
16th.
16th at 9 a.m.
All in favor?
I remember no mind.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, see you tomorrow. All right.
Thank you all.